and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 346 of the Fans of Power podcast. I'm Nathan Kennedy, joined by Tyler Baker and everyone's favorite hobo, Joe Amato. Rebecca McDonald will be joining us shortly, I would say, probably in the next 10 minutes or so. So she will be here. Joe, I'm going to get this out of the way at the start. Joe has no idea what we're doing tonight, and I want to stress this too, because this was Tyler's idea. So he passed this idea to me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to tell Joe what we're doing. I'm not going to tell Rebecca what we're going to do. So I put up the link today to get the prepped and ready, but Joe has no idea. Rebecca didn't know until she sees, like the link itself. So Joe, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we're doing now, so you can kind of get yours going in your head.
Okay.
What we're gonna do? It's time to nut up or shut up. Put our money where our mouths are. We're gonna come up with a new Master Universe animated series. So it's basically Tyler. I'm gonna kind of look at Tyler. He's kind of like we've been the team that's been chosen to come up with one, and Tyler is. I would say Tyler's gonna be like the head writer, and we're gonna be kind of here. Just bouncing ideas,
spitballing back and forth.
Back and forth.
Because Tyler and I used to do that a lot in the past. So
yeah.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is let me go ahead and do this now as well, just so people kind of get the idea what we're doing. Click on that here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this right here. So as we're going, I'll just be like blah 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 blah, and I'm gonna type it all out so we have it all there. That way, the people can see it in real time on the screen as we're doing all of that. So that is the plan for this episode, Joe. So
get ready for a lot of King Grayskull. It's fucking coming.
Where's my block?
You ain't shit. Can I borrow it for myself? Oh, and by the way, I don't have my computer by me, so I can't see the chat. You'll have to read the chat, Nathan.
Oh, come on, Joe.
I'm sorry. Oh, come on, God.
What a bum.
Sorry.
Well, the other thing I wanted to do as well, I was hoping there would be because this seems like way too long of a link to share, but Tyler and Joe started talking about bubblegum from years past, and I guess Tyler found some vintage 1998 Baloney bubblegum.
Oh, God.
I was going to take the link and put it in the chat. That way, if anyone out there wanted to buy this and smell it to Joe so Joe can eat it, because you know how he likes
I'll eat it. Can we show a picture? Is there a way to pop a picture up here for everybody to see this?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and
Yeah, I mean, I've eaten, gum before that's even older than that, but bologna flavor, that's like, look, I'll try. Oh my God, look at that. Jesus Christ.
And I don't know if it would actually taste like bologna or if it's just
it says fruit flavored, so I imagine
but it could
fruit
still
flavored
be
bologna. That's some nasty shit.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's a mix.
Blow your lunch.
Well, it must have been bad for them to take it away, and now people are selling that old gum.
It said like the link, it was made by Buick. I guess like the car company, Buick. Like
what?
Did it say Buick? Really?
I don't know.
Well, the link that
it says Ford bologna.
Okay, I don't know why I said Ford. How the hell did Well, I'm not a car guy, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean.
So Ford made this bologna.
Yeah.
In '98. Maybe it's like to give away to kids when parents come in to buy a new Ford. Like, here you go, son. Go blow your lunch.
The only way I could eat bologna back in the day was by frying it. I had to do like little cuts and then fry it with butter. It was the only way I could eat that stuff cold.
Fried bologna's good.
I've actually heard some people say. I think Eric even said she'd eat fried bologna. I'm like, oh my God! Like, just smell the bologna. You open up a package of it, makes you want to throw up.
I've been eating bologna sandwiches at work the past couple of weeks.
I used to eat a lot as a kid, though.
Yeah, I haven't had bologna in a while. I'm like, let's try it out. Put some Colby Jack cheese on there. Good to go.
God.
All right. So since Joe's too lazy ass to go get his computer and read the chat room, I guess I'll go ahead and do that.
Is it in the pawn shop? Is that where it's at?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No.
Jenny's already getting rid of everything.
No, I got her tablet right here. If she's there, you let me know.
You got rid of all the stuff that we got. I see.
No. I still use yours too. I know I use.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Hey, Joe got 7 mad at the feed.
So we have Zentron and JMac77, Febmon, MC DJ, Rebel Wookie, Motu Bud. See, I can say it.
Ugh,
That's what
God
you
forbid. What?
I am. You gotta pay for your laziness over there.
Yeah.
Rummagen. Did I already say Rebel Wookie? I'm already pulling it
Yep.
up. I'm scrolling. Thanos Copter. Paulric is here. Grim too.
You said it just like I did on purpose. Is that why you did that?
Oh yeah, I'm so used to the way that you do it. It's just ingrained in it's ingrained in me now. Casey Duncan, Jameson Horton, Jenny K. See, I can get your name right.
Oh, I messed up.
Unlike
I love you,
some
Jen.
people.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
What did you call it last week? Gertrude or something?
Yeah, it said Jenny Q. Pride of Grayskull, Chris Carter. I'm scrolling. Jaime Mares. I almost fucked that up. We message each other all the time. And see, I can get Jenny's name right, but not Jaime. I'm scrolling. Simple Tricks and Nonsense. Probably,
John Boy?
Yeah, probably been
Helping Rebecca hold her hair back.
Yeah, hold her hair back. We'll talk about that when she gets in here.
Yeah.
Drake Tank. I'm scrolling. There was a lot of people talking in here before we got going, but hey, that's what happens when we start like 12 minutes late, right? I think I got everybody.
People are just kind of hanging out like, oh my God, this could be awesome. This could be the greatest thing ever. We'll pass
Vintage
the word
Mo 2% Snake Mountain After Dark. Ooh. And Febmon's like, we have this. I don't think I could get as drunk as she does.
She was pretty gone last week, I think, wasn't she? She seemed pretty plastered.
Yeah, she was like a caricature on Looney Tunes, like hiccuping and well, everybody.
Yep. And she's the reason we were late too. So just to throw that out there. Where's she at?
She'll have to explain herself when she gets here.
John had to pull it from the bar.
What was that sound?
What are you talking about, Joe?
I thought I heard it sound like somebody knocked her. Oh my God, I'm hallucinating. I really thought there was a sound.
I don't know.
Oh, I heard it too.
Oh, okay, good. Then it was.
I didn't hear anything. Maybe it was.
You pounded something?
You guys are going crazy. Do what?
I said, are you pounding something? Did you pound her? That didn't sound right.
Emily, get in here.
You can pound that shit forever.
God, poor Emily.
Never ever get tender.
I think she's gonna put up the Christmas tree tonight, actually, because we haven't even put up our tree yet.
She'll be doing that after the show's over, so you can help her, I'm assuming.
All right, so I don't help her with it anymore.
Oh my God! Why?
No, it's a perfectly logical reason. So when we first started dating, I went over to her place. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna put my Christmas tree up tonight. You want to come help me drink wine or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I go and I'm helping her with it, and she's like, "No, that ornament doesn't go there." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So and she's like, I'm like, "All right, you know what? Nope. I'll sit here. I'll drink some wine."
Just one ornament did it, not multiple. Just
no. She's very specific about like placements of ornaments, and if things are too close together on the tree, she's like, "No, that it just looks too cluttered." And I'm like, you know what? So I don't bother with it anymore. And I'm like, you do it. You have fun.
Do you get to put the star on, the angel, whatever, something, anything, tinsel, garland?
No.
He's there for moral support.
Yeah, I'm just there to hang out and be like, "Good job, honey. Keep
a little bit to the left."
I don't say anything. She's just like, "How's it look?" I'm like, I've learned. So
he learned.
Men out there just nod and thumbs up. Joe, some good advice for you. Okay. Just
nod, I will.
Thumbs up. Be like, "Yep, it's all good, honey."
Yeah. Don't tell them they're wrong.
Yeah.
It looks great. It's wonderful. I could have done better myself.
Yeah.
You make me look bad. So I don't even call myself a man.
We're actually gonna we're gonna put the tree in our bedroom because normally we put it out in the living room, but with Benny, he's so derpy, and I think he would think it's probably a real tree, and he'd probably
pee on it or something,
and try to pee on it, or
Joe, you can relate.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Or pull the ornaments off or something. He gets. I'm like, let's just put the tree in the bedroom. It'd be cool to just like have the lights on when you're just like laying in bed, like trying to fall asleep.
Yeah,
like good. comfort
All
stuff.
right.
But yeah, I'm just I'm not gonna help out. Maybe the most I would do would get the tree from the basement and bring it upstairs and just be like, all right, well, there it is. There you go. Have fun.
I will say, like, I don't have a tree. I haven't put a tree up in years. I just have Christmas lights up. But like sitting in my den and reading comic books with Christmas lights on, there's nothing more comforting and cozy.
Well, actually, too, in the kitchen, she put blue and white lights up around the window. I'm like, let's just keep these up year round because there's not. I'm with Tyler.
Mine are
on
too.
that.
I keep mine up year round, just like
Yeah, there's something cozy about just having string lights hanging up like that.
Yeah, it's just
I have
my
a Santa
recliner. I'm
Claus
just gonna.
that I put in my window, but I usually take them down maybe 2-3 months after Christmas.
Is that the
But I
body?
could just-
Like a real Santa Claus came down? I
No.
kept a souvenir.
It's like it's a big, almost like a cardboard, but thick cardboard cutout, and it's got lights that pop through it, so the whole thing will light up. So that's maybe the extent of what I think I
I
put on
bet
the
you
window.
Joe's like Bill Moseley in House of a Thousand Corpses. Like, oh, Santa, he was a real blessing. And he turns him into like this cardboard standy with.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's not Rainn Wilson.
Your last words better be some Mark Twain shit because it's like getting etched on your fucking tombstone.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
okay.
ask you guys this when it comes to Christmas trees. I already know what Tyler's answer is, but Joe, I'll throw this out there. Are you more of you got to have a real tree, or do you just
Never had a real tree. Never. It's always been a fake one. We had
Yeah.
we had one that when I was growing up, must have had until I think I was 18. Then we moved and we got rid of it, and we called it our Charlie Brown Christmas tree. It was one where on the ends of every single branch was like a color code, and you had to like insert them in and then build it up all the way to the
I
top.
remember those. Yeah.
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 And then they just started flopping off, hanging to the side, and so it's like, got to get rid of that now. But yeah, it's always been a fake tree.
That sounds like a Joe Amato tree if I've ever heard one. Hey, she is here. Let me add her in here, and I guess prepare for shit to get fucky. Here we go. There we go.
Maybe.
Tyler, say something so I know you're still there.
Hello.
There we okay. What are you doing?
Oh yes. Oh well, yeah. No, because
Does
Eric is
StreamYard
like.
get weird? Does StreamYard get
What?
weird when we pop in and out?
Sometimes. Like when Joe entered before we started the show, like Tyler's audio went out. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, where the headphones at? What? You're sporting just a regular thing?
No, I got a new setup that I'm testing out. John got me for Christmas. He got me a new microphone. Because
sounds clear.
I'm always scared of like getting like bald up here because of
Yeah,
headsets.
I was thinking about that too, actually, that I might get some just earbuds with no mic and plug it into my microphone.
Get bald from the headset?
I saw a video where a guy who's like a streamer, like so he games all the time,
Yeah.
and he like has a bald spot up here
Yeah.
because of the headsets.
Yeah.
So
It's like
paranoid.
Michael Cole, Joe. He's got it too, where he's been wearing the headset for commentating for fucking ever. Yeah.
No kidding.
No, he's
I
a
mean,
shitty
but if they stopped
commentator.
using, would it grow back if they just stopped wearing the thing, or is
I
it
don't
just?
know.
I don't want to find out.
She's like,
I'm
fuck
too vain for
that.
that shit.
I imagine Rebecca have like this massive comb over, like she takes the hair from the other side and flips it over.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Well, the
you,
mic
Or
sounds
if you
like
like
it
that.
works.
you do sound pretty solid though. Like
Yeah,
sounds good?
yeah, it's very clear.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome. So what is our topic today, by the way?
Oh yeah, cause you
Oh,
haven't looked
'cause I
at all
don't know.
either. All right, so Tyler, this was Tyler's idea, and he told me about it, and I didn't tell either of you because I'm like, let's go into this with just the freshest ideas that you have. Now, obviously, Tyler's been thinking about it for.
Yeah, it's
What,
foods
since-
that make you sick.
Oh yeah, we'll come back. to
Joe
that.
inspired me.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we are going to create a new Masters of the Universe animated series. So essentially, we're gonna look at it like we're a
That's
team,
cool.
and Tyler's gonna be sort of like our head writer, and we're gonna just
Right.
bounce everything off of each other. And I have like the little Google Doc right here that I can just type everything as we're going along. But
cool.
yeah, Newt, you feeling better now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? Tell us what happened. What was going on?
Oh well, I just lost track of time, and then I got sick from eating 3 slices of pizza.
Three?
So I had to
Oh,
clean
only
up.
by the
three.
way.
What a lightweight.
No, what kind of pizza was it, by the way? Pepperoni or something else?
It was like it had a lot of stuff on it. It wasn't everything, but it had like sausage and onion, and it tasted awesome. But I just ate too much. Made myself
Oh,
sick.
okay.
I was gonna say, did you get it from a chain? Maybe something
No,
bad. in
no,
there.
it was
Okay.
just Domino's. So.
Oh, God, thank you. That shit is horrible.
No,
I
it's
tried
so
that.
good.
No, it's fucking no for me.
No,
it's
it's so
horrible.
good.
No,
Oh
let me
yeah,
tell
because
you,
you're
the
authentic Italian. I forget.
well, exactly. I gotta have some good sauce, a good taste. The crust was mush. It was greasy. It was salty.
No,
I-
no,
oh, God, it
that's
was-
really good crust. Papa
Oh,
John's usually has like the greasy crust if
Oh,
you dip it
this
in the
was-
stuff anyway.
maybe I had a bad experience. It was mush to shit. I was like, I'm never getting
All
this wretched stuff again.
Let's do this then. So let's do the ranking of pizza chains real fast, because for me
They all
it would
suck.
go ahead. Well, just out of like your main 4. So I would go probably Domino's first, then
Yes.
Little Caesars. And fuck, man, Papa John's and Pizza Hut are like, they're fighting each other for last place.
Domino's would be the best, and then I would say Domino's, then Little Caesars, then Papa John's.
Yeah, Pizza
I
Hut
actually
sucks,
just
man.
had my
Oh,
work
shit.
just got us some.
Tyler Pizza Hut sucks. Come on.
What a
Well-
piece of shit.
Well, I mean, pretty much they all are horrendous. But if I was to pick from the 4 main, I would say Pizza Hut, because sometimes they seem like they at least get a pretty good sauce and crust. But I get something from a place called Gino's, a real Italian restaurant, and that is some good sauce, good crust, everything.
Don't they make
What
frozen
is that
pizzas called
knocking?
Gino's?
I really
That
don't know what
happened
you guys are talking about.
See, now he's fucking around because
He's
Tyler heard that
fucking-
earlier too.
I don't
It's
know
the
what
second
you're
time
talking
that's
about.
happened.
What?
So, anyways, yeah, just Gino's is the best pizza. But if I was to go with those 4 horrible fucking chains, I'd pick Pizza Hut being overall.
Isn't this funny that all of a sudden Joe has standards?
I do when it comes to certain things. When it comes to Italian
Italian
stuff, I
food.
will. Yeah, I will do that, honestly. Because I don't go out to Italian restaurants because I make the stuff at home. But when it comes to pizza, I want to
We
have
know
a
what
real
he makes
Italian
at
place.
home. Nothing's authentic. It's all cobbled
is.
shit. He's
No, I make good spaghetti
know, it's-
meatballs, lasagna. I make real good shit. It's homemade. It's fresh. It's fucking amazing. You'd love it.
yeah.
You really
the
would.
Spaghetti sauce is bacon grease and
And ketchup,
little
mix it.
cherry tomatoes rolled up and hamburger or something like that.
And ketchup mixed with the grease. It's like, that's a great sauce. This is fucking great.
I must be senile.
Now, what was that knocking, Nathan? You're doing something. What is this knocking shit that you've
I
done
really
twice?
don't know what you're.
You are lying.
How to fucking pronounce it?
What was that? What was that?
I must be having a lot of lag tonight.
I just set my phone on my
Ninja.
table here. I mean, but I don't think that made a noise.
No, you said
Nathan, what are you? Nathan, stop it! Every time I talk, he makes it sound like
What?
I'm Tom. That's not me. I mean, it's me, but that ain't me.
There's ghosts.
Man,
What?
I
the
don't know.
fuck?
Joe, you're just hearing shit. I don't know what's going on with you.
God damn it! I don't know what you bastards. All right, so hey, what, we gonna get into the topic, or is there any other random stuff? You shit.
how to fucking pronounce it?
I'm not doing this. That is not me. Did Grim put you up to this shit? I don't know what's going on.
I must be senile.
I'm seeing
No.
out of you.
I don't know.
Oh, I fucking hate that thing.
Just these sound bites.
Bastard.
The
I don't know. Joe's just talking to himself.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, hey, did you see that? Don't do it, Nathan. I can tell you're gonna do it. Don't do it because you're doing the double take. You're gonna do some bullshit.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, did you see that? You're gonna do it again because you're looking down. But so
There
anyway,
really is.
What? I don't even know what I'm talking about no more. My mind's gone to shit.
now that wasn't me. It looked like it was though. But so yeah, Mondo had a panel or did some YouTube video, and they had a sneak peek of like an Ultimate Skeletor they're doing, like how they made a really good He-Man, you know, how they had their first He-Man, but then they made a better one. So now they have a Skeletor that looks more familiar to what people know, looks really good. But I don't think there's been any official things on their site as for standalone photos, just what people clipped out of the video, I think. I don't
Yeah.
know if any of you. Okay. Oh, you seen that too, Rebecca?
Bastard.
Oh, well, there you go.
It looks
Okay.
freaking awesome.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get it. I didn't
Oh,
get
okay.
their other Skeletor, so
All right. Did you get
Yeah,
Battle Cat?
I didn't like that.
no,
Skeletor
I
that
couldn't
much.
afford. I couldn't afford a Battle Cat. Same.
Okay.
I was waiting for a better He-Man and a better Skeletor to come out because those were their weakest ones. I mean, it was the first ones they put out, and so they were not hitting their stride yet. But
Yeah.
the new ones are worlds better than the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I get what they were trying to do to make it different, but I'm glad that they backtracked and like, all right, you know what? Let's make these look a little more like what people know and love.
Mhm.
Yep.
I only have so many, Joe. So.
All right. Well, go ahead, Nathan. When you're ready, we can start this up before you go into some crazy shit again. So.
You said what?
What crazy shit? You're the one being crazy, Joe.
I
You
must
won't
be
make it
senile.
make sense.
Okay, who put you up to this, Nathan? When did you decide that?
I'll give you one guess.
Dushin? Okay, yeah, I figured. Did he give you all these fucking... He must have gave you the sound bites, that bastard.
I don't know.
I don't remember pounding, though. I don't remember doing that.
You hear that, Jenny? He doesn't remember. Must have not have been that good.
Oh, that's fucking cold. That's... You bastard. That's cold.
Actually, I got that one too.
Bastard.
It didn't even sound like Joe. It sounded like someone like a
Yeah, it sounds like somebody else.
yeah. That was the sound I made when I walked down the toy aisle at Target the other day.
No, I was it's
God.
for as many like shitty toys as there are, it is nice though to go into Walmart and see like the toy aisle actually full as opposed to like the how empty it's been the past.
It looks
couple
like
years.
tumbleweeds,
Yeah.
empty pegs all over the place with like a random shitty Transformer and a shitty movie-related Marvel Legends sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Is what it
because that
is.
seems to be this all it's ever sitting on the shelf is the movie figures. You know, because no one gives a shit.
Oh, I was happy to see that Avatar 2 didn't do as well as they were projecting.
Did it come out yet?
Yeah. it came
Yeah.
out this weekend.
Did
It only
Yeah.
I didn't
yeah,
know they were doing... Oh, you guys did mention that.
it made 130 million, but they were projecting it. They were
Like
wanting to-
500 million opening.
No,
weekend.
I think the original projection was anywhere between 150 and 180. So it definitely. So I'm hoping it doesn't have legs. Like I don't care
What's
anymore.
their budget? Because whatever their budget is, it has to make
Oh.
double that and then some. So
Let's
that's an
look-
easy way to
let's
find
look it
out if
up.
this will be a failure. Any movie, you got to double the budget and then add a little more
I
too
know that
because
it
of
was
all
a
the
lot.
advertising. Yeah, because usually
Well, it's
a
got to
Marvel
go beyond that
movie is-
because then you got to throw in advertising just in the U.S. alone.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
It goes, yeah. That's what I mean. It's a lot. So, like for example, if there's a Marvel movie that has a budget of 250 million, it has to make 625 million even to break even. So that's why I'm curious.
The budget I get just a Google search here. 250 million. There's actually some articles. There's one from Variety here that says Avatar 2 needs 2 billion to turn a profit. James.
Oh,
Cameron.
it ain't gonna happen. Ooh, that ain't gonna happen with what you just said.
I
That's
hope. I
new.
wish it would fail miserably. I mean, I
It's
wish
probably going
it
to.
would just be like a humongous bomb.
Sounds like it.
Well, actually, we have this here from Megator. Why do you want it to fail?
Because I'm sick of like this hype up for his bullshit anymore. Like it used to be. Like I used to love. I think we all did. James Cameron as a filmmaker, but all of this. Even when I saw the trailer for the first one in theaters, like this is what people have been hyping up on the internet for months and months. It looked like a ridiculously bad video game. It's like, no, I don't want to see this shit. And then when it just kept making more and more money, and you find out it's the exact same story of Last Samurai and Dances with Wolves and various other movies, like, why is this groundbreaking? It looks silly. It looks ridiculous. And people just couldn't get enough of it. People wanted to kill themselves so they could come back in
Isn't
the
that
land of,
ridiculous?
whatever the hell. And I just feel like movies like this, like, cannot just show up and become the biggest thing in the world. Like,
Can I ask a question from somebody being actually clueless? Because I remember there was the hype of that movie. I remember seeing it. I watched it once, and I remember thinking, meh. But why was there such a big hype? What was that about? Because I don't know. Being
I think
outside.
the biggest thing was when they were this is when they were really pushing like 3D. You got to see it in 3D. I think that was like the biggest thing because that was the first movie to really sort of utilize the technology well enough that it made
So
sense.
it wasn't
to
like for
see
the
it in
story.
3D.
It was more just about 3D stuff.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's more.
Oh yeah, the story was like Tyler said, it was just taken from every other movie. It was Pocahontas, Dances with Wolves, Last Samurai. It was all those same story, but they just added blue people to it, and people were crazy about it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't
Okay.
like a horrible movie. It was just overhyped, and that made
Oh.
it seem worse when you actually saw it because you're like, your expectations are up here because everybody's like, this is the best thing in the world, and you're like, it's Pocahontas with blue people.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. I was like, well,
Me too, and I got a headache.
It looked fine, but I was just like, yeah, the story is pretty basic. But yeah, I saw some shit where there were people, because it's been so long between the two movies, you see shit where it's like, man, that was like one of my favorites from childhood, and I just feel old as shit.
Yeah.
You know, of course, not as old as Joe, but I'm
Yeah.
feeling pretty old when that
Bastard.
happened. But I want to say this too, like, you know, if you guys like Avatar, whatever. But I
Oh
just,
yeah. Look what you like.
I'm just sick of all. I'm just sick, and I feel like the internet now, it's all been bought and paid for, everything, because now the internet is just one giant hype machine for everything that's coming out. At least something that has been giving you a nice little incentive there to take your website and say, "Oh my God, this is going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life." And the next month, "Oh my God, you won't believe this is projected to make fucking $1 trillion opening weekend. It's going to be the biggest thing you've ever seen." And then come the summer, we're going to hype up this another big piece of shit. It's just everything is so overhyped to the point where like there are no under the radar movies anymore. There is no more like, wow, that sleeper hit. No, everything is
everything wants to be a blockbuster. And do you remember how like far and few between like real blockbusters used to be? Like they
Yeah.
weren't every other.
no, back in the day when a movie star, an actual human being, was what people went to go see, was an actor or / actress in a movie because they were in it, and that's what had people line up around the streets. Yes, you had your Jurassic Park, and maybe you had another movie that was a concept that people were like, oh, I got to go see what that is.
Do you think that's why the new Top Gun did so well? Maybe is for them to see Tom Cruise or something familiar or what?
Well,
No, because Tom Cruise, I think, is a person. People are still hung on to the jumping on the couch on Oprah Winfrey and the Scientology stuff. But his movies still make money. Like the Mission Impossible films people are still going to see those films.
So maybe just fans
whether
of
they
like
hate
the
'em or
original
not.
Top Gun and just wanting to see more
Well,
after so long.
I think that one was one of those word of mouth, like, hey, they actually did all the practical. This is all practical effect. There is no CG here, and if there is,
Yeah.
very minimal. You got to see it. It's fucking awesome.
It also wasn't trying so hard to tick all the boxes that all the movies are now, and I think that was
Yes.
refreshing for people.
And it wasn't a movie about, hey, do you remember this from 1986? You remember this? How about how about that? You remember that?
I mean, there were
know?
throwbacks, but they weren't punching you in the face.
Yeah,
with it.
not like J.J. Abrams, the embodiment of the Return of Christ when it comes to filmmaking. All these goofs they all look like a bunch of damn hipsters. Like all like your Paul Feig and your J.J. Abrams and your James Gunn. They all have these pretentious, with their fucking glasses on. They all look like their hair's all I'm hip and I'm down. I'm new age and shit. Like fuck
you know what? If I cut my hair, I'm gonna coif it like that and put some glasses on just to piss you off.
And you got to purse your lips, like I'm so much better than you.
I didn't mind that first J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie.
I like that too, but that was before everyone started oh my God, this guy he's going to revolutionize Star Wars. Look what he did. He did what they did in the first film, but he did it again here.
And Super 8 was okay in terms of
I like Super 8. I like
throwback
Super 8.
to a Spielberg era movie.
I like
I
that
don't think
movie.
I don't think I saw that movie.
Yeah,
I
it's
enjoyed it.
I didn't either.
pretty good. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
it's not bad.
I just say this is what their faces make me angry when I see them pop up.
It's fine.
I just want to hit them.
I'm sure there's some people out there that feel the same way about you.
Yeah, I know. I know as much as
They might even be sitting here right now.
They could be.
I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you shit.
No, he's not. He enjoyed saying that. You could tell
yeah.
he relished in that.
And I want to tell this to everyone at home too, because some people just picked up on it's like, man, you photoshopped Tyler's head on this little tiny man's body with the board. Yeah, I want to just make the thumbnail look like as stupid as possible. So
What did you do? I don't. Wait, what's that?
it's like a board meeting, and there's a guy
For the
standing
thumbnail,
up
yeah.
there.
Me and Joe's not seen it yet.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I don't know what you're. Okay.
I mean, I'll overlay
Yeah, Rebecca
it
said
on
she
here.
didn't see either, so I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So there it is.
You bastard! It's gonna be on all the fucking time. Thanks, Grim.
I just wanted to make it look like the worst fucking thing ever, and I don't want that to be in a way that it's like going to take away from our topic. But I just want people to see and be like, "What the fuck is this?" And then just like decide to click on it. So there you go.
Oh, God.
You didn't get my good side. What's the matter with you?
Hey man, I was just
Extra
trying to.
shiny.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. And hey, look at that! It's Joe's drawing from a child right there on the board.
Oh, you did. You put my. Oh, look at you, fucker. All right, that's
Yeah.
pretty
And,
cool.
and there's Rebecca down there at the bottom. The blonde. There's Rebecca.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
shit.
great.
Joe's
Like,
in
wow,
the break
this is
room.
awesome.
Did you say I'm in the break room? God damn it! Stop showing
Or the
that.
or the bathroom.
One or the other.
Fuck.
Eating ho-hos and Twinkies in the bathroom stall.
You know, speaking of ho-hos, I tried them last week because I've always just been a Swiss cake roll guy, and I've never had a ho-ho before.
Those were awesome. Well, that and the cupcakes with like the little white stripe on,
Oh,
on
yeah.
the top
Yeah.
and the,
Really
and the
good.
marshmallow
Yeah,
cone. Yeah, those.
I like them. They're completely different from each other because I was expecting it to just taste like a Swiss cake roll, but no, it tastes more like a cupcake.
I saw ones that Reese cups at Rural King. Me and Erica saw those, and they're like those.
Wait, hang on.
Cupcakes with,
you
like-
went into Rural King on purpose?
She wanted to
Oh,
look for like Christmas stuff.
Ah,
So
makes sense.
What
I
is that
can't
place? Why did you
Yeah.
put that place down, Nathan? What is that place?
because it's just like rednecks are us.
it is, but like with Christmas stuff, they had like a really nice like outdoor like rocking chair that's like a fold up, which was kind of cool. But
Yeah,
for the most part, yes, it is.
Nah.
It is the holy grail of
Yeah.
where rednecks go, and
Ugh.
it's like the cheers of rednecks.
Yeah.
Everybody knows your name if you're a
Yeah,
redneck.
well, that's because they're all cousin fuckers and inbreds. And
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a
They know
store.
each
I mean,
other.
it wasn't a restaurant. It's a store.
No,
You
it's
mean?
a
I
store.
No,
just-
it
Oh, okay.
sells like hunting supplies, farm supplies,
but yeah, there you go.
winter clothing like Carhartt jackets and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you
Boots.
can, cowboy boots,
tobacco,
hats.
all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
No, they don't sell
Probably.
tobacco there, but
Oh, no,
they
I
do. They
figured
do. They do sell free popcorn. It smells
Yeah,
like
you-
walking into hills.
You would love it, Joe.
I remember
Free
that.
popcorn.
Yeah.
I'm done.
yeah,
Free. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
And they sell
Yeah.
Abba Zabbas.
yeah. A lot of
I have
throwback
never had
candies.
that.
It's like there's like an old school general. It's like chain in the South is what it
Yeah.
is too,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
it has like an old school general store feel to it.
Yeah,
But
and you can get baby chicks and
yeah,
bunnies.
rabbits, baby ducks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Aw.
things like that
Yeah.
there. So which is
Is
kind
that
of cool
one
to
that-
walk back there.
Do they cook them,
Yeah.
or is it
No.
like you take them? Oh, I
No,
didn't-
Joe, if you wanted to strangle it and cook it when you got home, that's your
Uh,
business.
You
Could you just
could get
imagine
it.
that? It's just like the end of the Christmas Story. They just put it there and chop the head off.
Yeah.
Really, for some reason, thought you meant that you could
No.
they cook them.
No,
No,
Okay.
they're there for people to take home and raise.
Yeah, to raise.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Emily has to go in there to get like horse feed. She's like, "Yeah, I got to go into Rednecks R Us." I'm like, I can't stand going in there because I go in there and I just see them all. And I'm like, I can't. Fuck. And they prototypical store, only one register open every fucking time you go in there. There's a
Does it
line.
do the old cha-ching, or is it like an
No,
old?
No, I mean, no, they
Oh.
have modern registers, but it's
But there's
Oh,
just
okay.
one individual operating it. And I just
Yeah.
I can't. I've said this before. Like I hate living in this area because I can't stand rednecks. I can't. I'm sorry if there's anybody in the chat or anybody that listens to our show. You're like, yeah, you know what? I like going there. Fine, whatever. Appreciate your ears and your eyes, but I just fucking hate rednecks.
Nathan's just full of hate. He can't help it. It's just,
well,
it's just-
Nathan works with them.
I
on a
work with them
regular basis,
constantly, so it's just
and our school was filled with it too.
it's
So
just and it's like they're not legitimate ones either. They're just like those pseudo rednecks that like walk and talk the part and got the big stupid lifted truck, but they never haul anything in it, and they don't like getting their boots dirty and shit. I'm like, you're just a pseudo redneck. And they're just sitting there with their dip spit and their fucking Mountain Dew bottle. All right, we got to
and
change.
they stink.
Yeah, let's change the topic. Let's
I'm
go
getting
into
angry.
our topic. Yeah, come on,
All
go
right.
to the topic.
All right. So Tyler, I will pass it along to you. Tell us, why this was kind of stirring around in your brain, why you decided, just like, you know what, now's the time to let's do this and put it out there.
Yeah, I just I know Joe and I have done like hypothetical conversations. Us as a group have done various hypothetical conversations about He-Man and She-Ra, and I just thought like, as you all well know, we were not happy with more recent incarnations of animated series concerning these two beloved properties, and I just thought, you know what, as much as we have kind of like they got that wrong. They got that wrong. This and that too. Like, why not? Why haven't we sat down and said, okay, this is how you do a brand new animated series?
Cue the Montel Jordan. This is how we do it.
Oh God. There's a song from the 90s I really don't care to hear again.
It's tax time, man. They're probably going to roll those commercials out like constantly now.
Oh yeah,
because that's like their anthem. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine. But I just thought like, wow, this is how you could introduce this and how you can introduce that, and I'm like, oh hell, God, this would make a really. And then the more I kept thinking about it, I would think about stuff while I'm at the gym, while I'm driving home. I'm like, oh, and I came so close to sending messages to YouTube, like to kind of like get you like, and I had no idea Nathan wasn't going to tell you guys, so I'm glad I did, because I came this close to like, okay, guys, I got this one idea too, like,
you know, what he didn't
like,
tell you?
What the hell are you talking about? You know, I'm like, Nathan. But I don't think it's that hard to come up with ideas, but I also thought too, this gives us ideas and possibilities, because I have like a couple off the top of my head. I'm like, what you guys would think about, doing this, but like reintroducing, like from the ground up, introducing the concept of master.
Hold on,
Joe. Am I boring you?
Okay.
No, you said
Just playing while he's not here.
God.
What
I thought he was still here. I was like, how's he still doing that? But okay, come on, Joe.
Come on.
I thought my dad fell. I had to. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
No.
It was a pound.
Okay.
He's okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah. Whew.
Good.
It was a what? It was a pound. What did you say?
No. It just there was a big pound that must have been outside, but I thought he fell. But everything's okay.
Did you check the guy in the basement with the duct tape on his mouth?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's still fucking down there.
Okay.
God
Yeah.
damn
Doing
it.
so.
Is that what it was?
Maybe his piss bucket's full.
Yeah. Tyler and I we had so many ideas, and the thing is, I know we could spin them in so many different directions, but like there's the things that I would like to see, things I'm sure we don't need to see. When it comes to a story, it's like I know that we've had origins of characters and so many times. Like here's like I said, and we'll bounce all around back and forth. I'll just ramble some stuff quick.
Yeah.
But like, okay, as for origins, I don't feel like we have to dedicate 2 to 3 episodes to show how Adam becomes He-Man. You can have that almost said pretty well in an intro, just like they did back in the day. If there's going to be, there'll be continuity, but I don't feel like we have to have a non-stop going fucking thing for 16 episodes where they all have to connect. You have continuity, but you have one-off, standoff episodes where you can still have them going off to doing some type of adventure. As for death, we don't need this fucking shock factor to see blood, death. We don't have to have adult sexual situations. We don't need that dumb shit. There are characters that should be
That's for the new Conan show that we're going to get later.
Yeah, but from the forefront, right from the get-go, we need certain characters right there. Let's have Clamp Champ right there from the beginning as a main character. Not let's bring him in 12 episodes in later and then have him for 1 episode and nothing else. Sure, there's going to be characters.
Or worse yet, kill him off.
What's that?
Or worse yet, kill him off.
Yeah, kill him off and make him into a joke. I mean, like that kind of shit. It's annoying. It's like, no, have characters that are loved by fans who never got the time to shine, and don't like insult them by making it seem like they don't have common sense or they're not that good. It's like, and we're never going to disrespect Mechaneck. That shit definitely is not going to happen because I hate how they fucking treat him. But
no one would get disrespected. And
yeah, you don't need to do that.
Because none of the characters sucked in my book. None of them.
Joe is pooping.
So Joe's like getting way ahead of himself. So let's backtrack this. We're gonna treat Tyler as he's our head writer here. So I'm gonna toss along some questions since Tyler's been thinking about this for a while. So. What
happened to Rebecca? Where'd she go?
Did you step on her cat?
I don't know.
What the fuck was that? We're all jumping off camera.
Maybe there was
she getting cold? What happened?
I was giving you a taste of your own medicine, Joe.
Oh, thanks. All right.
No, I was gonna blanket. I'm cold.
You Yeah, so am I. That's why I'm
we
wearing
know
this.
those Floridians, man. Anytime it
I
hits
know.
like 61 degrees, they got like their winter
I hate the
jacket on.
cold. I hate the cold.
Oh, then you don't want to head in any of our directions because we get cold as shit. But the first question I want to ask Tyler then is setting the stage is off the bat, how many? Because I guess we're gonna kind of take this in a way that we're gonna present this. If we're taking it and presenting it out, we want to lay the groundwork of like, if you're gonna give us a chance, at least give us this much. So episode wise, how long were you kind of like looking to have like a starting point with it?
I was going to do pretty much the opposite of what Joe just said.
Okay.
My thought is that we're going to build not to the very end to get He-Man into the mix. I really like the first episode is we're going to give a big introduction and kind of set. We would start with an introduction with narration by the sorceress of introducing the planet, much like the Greatest Adventures of All, because a lot of stuff that was done before I would love to honor, but put our own spin on it, but set up what this world was like with Preternia, the Age of Dinosaurs, Hero, because we are building up the source of Grayskull, why it is here. So you need to show who Hero was and what his significance is. Hero and Eldor, the dinosaurs, King Hiss, maybe Hordak, but you do it in a sense of like painting what this world was like at one point, and then eventually at the death of Hero, the world honors him by building this massive castle to house his staff, his magic, his power is all housed in this castle to ward off evil, to scare off intruders, to preserve it. And that someday, when this planet becomes imbalanced with evil, someone will be destined to come along, or someone's.
Yeah, ones, but definitely no He-Man. Let's get that in there. No
No.
Get rid of that.
And that's why this castle stays desolate for centuries and centuries and centuries. And a new guardian of Grayskull, a new sorceress comes along, but you're hearing the sorceress tell the story is the world changes around it. It depletes, it grows up, it depletes again, it grows up again, and the world is just forgetting all about this castle because you have evil on this planet, but nothing that is threatening or even is aware of Grayskull.
And for those who might even wonder about the name of Grayskull, remember with Hero, his name is Gray.
Her name is Gray,
Yeah, so for those who didn't know, okay.
Yeah, so for people who are NYP or into Revelation, all that shit, you are just shit out of luck here.
Well, that was the other thing I wanted to stress too is you're going to take some things probably from Filmation, but you don't want it to be like an entire ripoff from it or a continuation of that. It's just going to be like, here's a fresh slate. And when you're talking about doing the Preternia stuff and Sorcerer's kind of talking about that, are we going to spend this entire first episode on it? So it'll be like probably a 3 to 5 minute like intro?
Because it's just to kind of set up why Grayskull is here, what is in there, and what the significance of this castle is going to mean at some point. And then we would go back later on and revisit Preternia in like a full episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You build it up at the beginning and then you go back to it later. So that
you just do enough to get everyone's nipples hard about this. Like, oh my God, T-Rex, Bionatops, Turbodactyl, King Hiss, and Hero, like, and they're fighting.
In a way, and that's what I meant. There's a way of how you could do that, like you can with, like you said, a
and like an awesome in the beginning. Too. Make it like an awesome.
But you get flashes and things. But I guess you were pretty much the same level. I just meant I didn't want something to where it'd be 3 episodes of watching Prince Adam going on a quest to get the sword or become.
No, but I would like to kind of see like a Prince Adam turning into He-Man episode, but like an episode, the first episode. It doesn't need to be like 3 episodes long.
Well, exactly. Even that would not be, because I would start out like once we get the narration of where we're at, where we're going, we would see Teela and Adam as kids. First, Skeletor's not here yet. We just see, and we would see, like, I would personally like to have Clamp Champ be the same age as Adam and Teela as well. That he grew up.
At least you're there having Clamp Champ from the beginning too.
Yeah, because I want him, like when Teela becomes captain of the Royal Guard, Clamp Champ becomes King Randor's personal bodyguard at the exact same time.
That would be awesome. because we don't get to see those characters as young. Like we in the Filmation, we saw Teela, we saw Cringer, we saw Adam all young, but we didn't get to see Clam Champ young or
Yeah.
Fisto young or all these other characters young.
And we wouldn't see everybody. This is just kind of like a niche group because I felt like it made sense for Clam Champ since he is part of the guard. Like they all grew up together, they trained together. So kind of establishing like, you know, what it's like during that time, and possibly, you know, you see the kids doing their thing. Teela trains, Clam Champ trains.
Well,
Wait,
how-
now, would
Adam-
you want Clam Champ to be the same age as Adam and Teela,
Yes.
or a little bit older, almost like they are training with him, but almost somebody that they can almost look up to because he has a little more experience? Like he could be a little bit older, a few years older.
Well, I was
No,
gonna
I-
ask, like, how old were you? Kind of like age, like a specific age were you?
Well,
Kind of
I'd say probably around like, you know, they're still kids, but not far from being teenagers. Like that's why I wanted Clam Champ to be the same age, because I want him to be like, you know, I want to grow up and be like a prominent member in the Royal Guard. Like I want to be a defender of this palace. I want to be like and that Man at Arms is hands on with their training, but in private, he's already like getting with Adam and not telling him, but he's training with Adam privately and not telling anyone else about it, and not even telling Adam why he's training him privately. Like he trains the three of them together along with others for fun. Well, not for fun, but to encourage them. Like, you're growing up, you need to learn how to defend yourselves. And you know, Teela wants to be in the Royal Guard because she's a girl. She's no other women are in the Royal Guard, so like she wants to prove
Did he
something.
freeze?
yeah, no, he's back.
Me? Okay,
Yeah,
me.
we can still
I'm
hear
sorry.
you. No, your video.
We can
just-
still hear what
Okay.
you were saying though. So.
Okay. So, but I really just want to spend a little time of like establishing what kind of relationship Teela and Adam have as kids, and that there's others around them that grew up. You got Orca there, Cringer's there, Marlena Randor, of course, and Man at Arms is kind of like the surrogate father to Adam as well. Like he spends more time, looking to Duncan, for answers as a father, and then he kind of questions like, "Why are you training me?" And he's like, "Well, you know what, someday, Adam, I'll have a better explanation, why I don't train you with the
I have
others."
a line in there from Teela, like, well, he gets special treatment because he's the prince or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
and
why I think-
exactly. Like build up a little bit of tension and animosity. Like she wants to prove that she can do just as well, and she does very well. But then she wonders, like, why is the prince getting special training when I'm putting in the extra effort? I'm putting in the extra hours. And Clam Champ, like him, I just feel like there's so much you could play around with. But then you don't spend so much time on that. Then you move up to where we're approaching Adam's birthday, and we're not going all MYP here. Just the time frame here. Like Clam Champ has been established as the Randor's royal bodyguard. Teela has become the royal guard, or like the captain of the royal guard. And around this time frame, you would see Zodak patrolling the galaxy, and he gets like alert that, okay, something's happening on Eternia right now. And then you would cut to the dark hemisphere, and a portal opens up
From
and you've got
Infinita with Skeletor.
from Infinita.
There, I was gonna say, I wanted to bring
Yeah.
that up. I was like, I hope you have it to where we can
Yeah.
see Skeletor come from
Yes.
Infinita. Yeah,
And-
good.
and
Oh, that'd be
and
so
this-
fucking
and-
cool. That's
and
the
this
first
would-
time you see him too. Oh my god.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna
You-
say.
you
I was
don't-
holding that
yeah.
up. I was holding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I'm gonna give up on typing all this out because I'm like, well, if I share screen
You can
on
just
here,
listen to it.
yeah,
later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scrap that whole idea. I was like, yeah, but Tyler's talking. I'm like, well, how would I bullet point that? But yeah, go ahead.
But this would be like he shows up after he's conquered Infinita. But we don't know he's left the Horde. I mean, we as fans know, but I want to take into consideration that this is a new audience, but they're going to come along for the ride as it's unraveling. We're already ahead of the game as being fans. But he shows up in the Dark Hemisphere because he's drawn to this planet. He doesn't know
Because of the-
why.
That power of Grayskull. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say one thing I want to ask. Now, in the prologue, because how the sorceress is telling the story of everything. Now, when she's telling the story of when she mentioned Skeletor, and almost like how, like you said, we almost heard with Filmation, but a demon from another dimension called Infinita that has conquered hundreds of other worlds, because we know he has conquered a lot of other worlds, and the power of Grayskull has drawn him to Eternia.
And you
So
have that
just-
line in there that a demon. It's like
Yeah,
that's
a
what's
demon.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, from another
Because at this
dimension.
point, like the sorceress, nobody knows what he is. They just, all we can say is that he comes from this planet Infinite that he has conquered. And you could play it up that he's conquered others, but he has left
'cause
the
it makes it
Horde with it.
I think it made it imposing. I think, just to mention that he has conquered hundreds of worlds just makes him that more fucking intimidating of this being that's come. Like, you are in for some fucking trouble when this guy has just arrived on Eternia.
Mhm.
So that I feel like he won't explore anything else, because once he's set foot in the Dark Hemisphere, this is why I wanted to kind of stretch this out a bit. Because
I was gonna ask you, like, when we're talking here and you're explaining that you want them as kids and everything, like, how many episodes are we going along where they're going to be this age until we reach a point where it's like they are a little bit older now and things have kind
Or
of
is it
changed?
quick flashes, like within the episodes of, like,
I
a
mean,
little flash, a little talk?
I don't think it would really, because I felt that first episode, it needs to grab people in. Like, you want the, like, no like waiting around. This needs to pull people in like this. Okay, I want you along for this ride. So the kid stuff would just had to be enough to see that, and then in future episodes we could kind of cut back to, like,
Flashbacks, exactly.
yeah, flashbacks where you could see Tila thinking about that one time where she starts developing a crush on Adam, but she's mad because he doesn't look at her as a female interest. He's looking at all these, royal debutantes and women that are not warriors. They're the cliche, women, princesses, and things
Which he's
like
kind
that.
of known for. That's kind of his,
Yeah.
person.
But I also feel like, too, in those times, you would kind of dig into, like, Adam, not because he's not a spoiled prince. He clearly is like, I'm not interested in any of this bullshit that my father wants me to be a part of. I don't want to sit in on these damn meetings of diplomats bullshitting around, presenting gifts. He would much rather be hanging out at the local pubs, flirting with beautiful women. So the only thing that draws his interest in the royal affairs is all the beautiful women that show up. Because there's nothing, I'm not interested in this stuff. This is not me. Which is constantly butting heads with his father about that. And his mother's like, he's still growing. It's important, but, like, he's a boy still. Like, let's not, like, rush his childhood away to be a part of this political nonsense. So already establishing that Adam's acting like this, then when he takes on responsibilities, he realizes, I have to keep up this charade. I'm much stronger and much more capable of handling so much more than my father thinks. Now I've really got to make him think.
Yeah, we
I'm a
get to
fucking
see what
moron.
we kind of, in a way, like, has been, presented in DC Comics in the past
Yeah.
and stuff, but fleshing it out a little bit more, and obviously for people to watch and to see and almost feel it. I mean, I like that. I like every bit of it, and like I said, as we advance into the stories, then with, again, continuity, but it always is good to go and do a flashback. Like, I really look forward to when we do one where it would, like, be about Preternia, and we do see Hero and more of him.
And that would be at a point too where, when Adam I guess after he's already become He-Man. Oh, I feel like
let's go back to.
But I want you guys jumping in, and I don't want this like.
Oh,
this
that's
is
why
the Tyler show
that's-
here.
That's
You
what I mean.
know,
That's why I've been rambling too. But, like, I could picture, like, if there was a particular episode where there's some grave danger coming, that is on Eternia right now, and they have to solve something, and that's when we have Malactha, because he's the Eternian archaeologist. He would be able to research to show, like, this is a threat. It's something I remember reading years ago. He brings out a book, looks at some
actually
text,
that idea of, like, Malactha actually being the guy who introduces Preternia
exactly.
to Adam.
I want
That would be, I think, the best way to go about that.
Yeah,
because
that's what I was thinking. He would show that to him, and then through that, the history as he reads, then we could see an episode or something partaking in Preternia.
Yeah.
As he reads it, we get to see it of what happened.
Look at the
Shit, I'm getting
illustrations in
goosebumps.
all the books.
Yeah.
All the books.
It comes to life. Like, you see it zoom in, like, on an illustration.
Yeah.
Then, you know how it is? It comes to life. And then we're seeing an episode. I'm actually getting fucking chills thinking about this
documentation
shit.
of dinosaurs in the books. Like, he's
Yeah,
like, look,
oh, man.
this was the
Aw,
Tyrannosaurus Rex, Adam.
It's gonna be cool.
The fiercest
Yeah.
creature on the planet at
See,
one
that's how you do Malactha. This is how you do characters, everybody. This is what you fucking do. Not
Well,
this nonsense
yeah.
that you...
I want to go back to with the portal opening and Skeletor coming out because I want to see where Tyler's thought process was going because this is still happening within like that first episode, right? You're building up to this moment to where it's one to punch
I
you,
would
keep
say,
going, or would you hold off on the
I'd
reveal
say
of Skeletor?
like Skeletor shows up at the end of the first episode.
Okay.
I was about to say that should be at the end.
Yeah, he
That would be a
steps
whole-
in. You know, you see this hooded figure looking like Skeletor that he does. You don't see his face, of course. You see him looking around, and everything's dark, of course. You see, canyons, and you see various creatures. You see, tribes maybe in the far distance, and you see, way off in the far distance, the silhouette of Snake Mountain. So he's just there kind of exploring. And then I would want to actually spend almost like a full episode of Skeletor exploring the Dark Hemisphere because he realizes, okay, I'm on a new planet. I'm by myself. I need warriors.
And that's how we get to
So is
So-
this around the same time zone that Skeletor comes to the planet while Adam and Teela are still children?
No. They're
they're
adults because
They're
the
adults by
point
the time
when I said that Zodak senses there's an imbalance on the planet, that's all he knows. An ultimate evil has showed up on Eternia. The balance has shifted.
So would this be like when Adam's discovering the sword? So you have like flashes of Adam.
No, this would be like
and then-
Zodak would come to Eternia once he realizes there's a presence on Eternia in the Dark Hemisphere. He doesn't know what it is. He's just on patrol. Like, okay, the planet's off balance here. I have to go to Grayskull and tell the sorcerers, okay, we need our champion. The balance is shifted. We need a counterbalance to this ultimate evil that showed up on the planet. So that's when the sorcerers would contact Duncan. And at that point, this is where I was like, okay, this could be difficult for all of us here because I feel like how things came in the 80s is like it was a reaction to how popular things were. This makes more sense to me is that when Adam is brought to Grayskull for the first time, because we could probably and like you said, this is all this is subject to change if we were doing this. That Duncan would give hints of stuff like, Adam, I can't really explain that to you right now. Like between you and I, when the time is right, I can explain to you a lot more even than your father can about this. This day's between you and I. So on that day, he explains to him like, I've been training you all these years in secret for a reason, Adam. I've trained you differently than I've trained my daughter. I've trained you differently than I've trained Clank Champ and various other members of the Royal Guard. This is by no means the end of your training because you got so much more to learn, but this is preparing you for something that I can't fathom. I don't understand it, but I know that I've been asked since you and Teela were born to prepare you for this responsibility that, as we're approaching your 18th birthday, it's on me to make sure that I bring you to this. And at the same time, when Adam is brought to Grayskull, all this is being explained, I thought, okay, why not tell Adam at this point that, Adam, not only do you need to take up this mantle, you've also got to find the keeper of this other sword, who is your twin sister.
Would you want it that early? Do you think?
That's why
that
I
makes
kind of
more
felt like
sense.
it would
because
make
it's
more
like
sense.
all these secrets coming out at once. Actually,
Yeah, it would make more sense because I thought like it made sense how it was done in the 80s because we need to have a reason why He-Man would have no idea why he had a twin sister up to this point. At this
Right, 'cause
point,
he
I kind of feel like She-Ra to us has already been established.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of thought like it would be such a challenging thing that I have a twin sister. Wait, what? And I don't know. I thought like it made more sense today to like why would you not tell him when you present the swords of power? If you're going to tell one, like why would you not say
Here are them both instead of here's this one. By the way, here there's a few years later. Here's this one too. I get
Yeah.
that. That actually makes sense to me.
Yeah. but it would see.
I don't think you have to.
But that's okay,
No, I
Joe.
don't think you
Like,
have to
disagree
introduce
with it.
Shira right now.
Yeah,
Just
no,
for
yeah,
Sword
Yeah,
and the
no,
fact that
no,
there's
and
a
that's the
lost
thing.
link.
Shira would not be introduced right now. This is strictly.
It's just
like
putting
setting
it
up-
out there
Do
that
you-
like you
coming.
eventually the time will pass. Like this
Yeah,
will come
But
to pass.
this is like it's like look, not if you're going to be the protector of Grayskull, you need to know that you know what someone else. It's meant to be twins of power, and that's where Adam would learn.
Do you think possibly it's too much for him to take in all at once, meaning as he learns all that, and also
No.
with Skeletor arriving, and all the stuff that he has to do to stop and protect Eternity from this new threat and all these new evil warriors, that now he's still thinking of his sister too? Do you think that would be conflicting in his mind of
I
so
think
much at once?
that's what adds drama to Adam's character. Is that
Hmm.
you're putting all
Where
of
he
this.
comes from, like a boy, to where he's like, okay, I need to be a man now, kind of thing. I have all these freaking responsibilities on my plate now, and all these.
And yet, at this point, too, like Adam would be given the power of Grayskull, the sword, explain what his responsibilities are. Cringer's with him, turn into Battle Cat, Orko, Duncan, they all learn about it. The threat of Skeletor has not yet happened yet. He has not he has not.
All I
attempted
know
to-
is something is coming.
something is yeah, and that at some point.
How
Adam,
long would it be
you'll-
between, would you say, of him finding out about, his sister and then Skeletor arriving? How long would that be a
Well,
time
I
period?
feel like I would want it to build up to like the latter half of the season, because I would want the evil warriors to constantly, them to be building and building and building and
No, I
building.
mean, I guess years. I mean, like time-wise for him.
Oh no,
himself.
the same year. Because I felt like it makes more sense for He-Man to be given for Adam to be given the Power Sword when Skeletor shows up, because the balance of evil has shifted.
And that makes
Because-
perfect sense. I absolutely love that, because it makes it like destiny. Like these two were made to fight each other.
That if Skeletor's here, we have to have He-Man. If Skeletor's not here, then we don't need He-Man yet. It's like Zodak is just like when he shows up, the balance is shifted. Like he's there to make sure that one side is not more than the other. Like there's been a perfect equilibrium on the planet since the days of Preternia. There has not been a threat that is anything like Skeletor. It's been like your Negators and your Azrogs or your.
And that
your-
really
your-
does make him feel like more of a threat.
Yeah, that's the whole point, is to make Skeletor the embodiment of evil. Like this is the guy that the whole planet is going to fear, and you don't show that. Like that once he becomes He-Man, you would have He-Man take on minor threats, and as we're getting closer, some of the evil warriors are introduced to He-Man. Like he would butt heads with Clawful, or take on, or like try. One of the fun things too is how Skeletor would start to.
That's what I
align
was going to
himself.
ask you about. So if we're finishing off the first episode of him walking through the portal and kind of taking it all in, so I would
Yeah.
assume that the next episode would kind of deal more with him trying to. I need warriors. I need.
Yeah.
So, what was kind of your thought process into going into that of how he would come about discovering each, and how many would you be willing to kind of reveal in the second episode? Because I feel like you would have to take some of them and kind
like
of.
that you said, I was thinking like a 10 episode,
Yeah, and that
story.
goes back to the thing too. Is like how long were you kind of wanting that to be, to like have it at least? I mean, obviously, would end this like on a cliffhanger, that way to have it be enticing. For it's like, oh, season 2. So I was gonna ask. So you're thinking like a 10
season 1 would
episode-
end with a big battle at Grayskull with He-Man. Like we would have it like Skeletor would be aware, like who is this warrior that I'm like, okay, this is something, but they've not yet faced each other. Like they would see each other like from a distance. Like Skeletor's like, okay, this is something I didn't plan for. This not only is this guy like very good with the sword, but he's very strong, and there's something about him that's different. This is not a pushover. Like I don't want Skeletor to be played up as someone who's like, son of a bitch, I'll get you next time. I want this to be building up, like, testing the waters here and there, but not really quite understanding, like, okay, what it is that I'm dealing with here.
Yeah.
And even then, because I don't want their face-off to be like, and not until the very end of like the last episode.
So you're saying, all right, 10 episodes. How long would each episode, would it vary? Or are you looking for a set amount of time, the length of episode.
I could say I'd say maybe under an hour if you do an animation. I think under an hour.
And that was
you know?
actually another question that we had in the chat that I couldn't. Let's see if I. Maybe I missed this. What's the animation style? How are
2D.
you want?
No 3D bullshit. No, I want 2D animation. Most 3D animation with humans, they look chunky, like, and not in a flattering way. They just look, excessive, like swole up, and it doesn't look cool. They just look like they're just stiff and weird, and it's just not,
Don't want them looking like you, huh?
Well, no one can look like me. What can I say?
Hey, Joe's actually trying. Look how big Joe looks this week.
I know. Joe's been inflating here. He's been hitting the gym and eating his protein bars and drinking whey powder out of the jar.
Great.
But
No,
yeah,
that was just Nesquik.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
So 10 episodes. We're looking at probably under an hour for each episode going forward. So I want to go back to the whole thing of with Skeletor accumulating warriors. How many are you willing to sort of reveal within this 10 episode?
I had a couple of ideas for some of them, and I'm sure Newt and Joe have their ideas as well. But I thought Beastman should be the first one, but Beastman would be mute, and that as Skeletor is walking around, he would go in disguise at times. But I thought it would make sense that Beastman is kind of chained up as like a captive of a, I don't know, a group of vandals or something like that. Like they like to beat on him and humiliate him and just and like he's chained up. He can't do anything about it. But he sees Skeletor sees he's just very vicious looking beast, and like Skeletor from a distance was kind of like, I can sense there's something about this creature that if it was unleashed could be quite a powerful force if it was under the right tutelage. And so he shows up and assists in helping release Beastman, and lets Beastman just slaughter his captives. And like Beastman right there says okay, because he can't talk, he just knows this is my master. I will be forever at this man's side because he freed me and let me destroy my captives. So I will give my life to protect this skull-faced man. I don't know where he came from, but he saved me, so therefore I owe him my life. So he will.
Another question that I had since you brought that up, that they're being slaughtered. So are we taking this to where it would are you looking...
not severe death, like their deaths would be done in shadows?
No, yeah, but I'm saying, are you wanting it to kind of ride that line to where it's something that a parent would be willing to let their kid get into, or do you think it needs to be a little more? It's like, all right, maybe they need to be a PG-13.
You can imply things with
Well,
Skeletor saying something like, and now do what you will with your captors, or show vengeance, or whatever.
I think of
and then you see
I'm not a fan of
turn and grin, and you just know he did something terrible to these people without actually seeing it happen.
I just think of when the hyenas turn on Scar in The Lion King, they eat him alive. Yeah. But you don't need to see anything else other than the silhouette of them eating
the shadows, yeah.
Yeah, so Beastman tears into their tent, and it looks like the ghost in the darkness, the tent's being torn apart. People are clawing at the ground and being pulled back in.
Yeah, and you could have one of the tents kind of be illuminated, right? And you see him about to get whatever, but it the light goes out and all you hear is just a scream or something.
Yeah. So
it's implied. But I'm saying do you think this could be a series that could a 7-year-old kid sit down and watch it and not be completely,
because he was saying, Disney has implied a lot of implied deaths. There's the one I love in Mulan where the bad guy's how many men does it take to deliver a message, and they're one, and he pulls the arrow and it just cuts. It's you can have dark stuff in it without showing somebody dying, know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I 7-year-olds can watch this.
I just wanted to make sure, because it's you don't want it to be sort of like you're trying too hard to appeal to the adults, Like I think it needs to be a good balance where it's like a kid could watch it, but an adult's still gonna love it.
Well, yeah, like me and Joe have always felt like, look, we don't need to see decapitations and people being torn to pieces. When I say slaughter, I mean like imply that he killed his captors.
But, but I want to put that out there, like so people get the idea.
But I also don't want to feel like I want to brighten it up for the kids, as Jack Nicholson said about the Joker. I want it to be something that a kid would be entranced. When you watch the live action movie as a child, like I look at the evil warriors and they're frightening to me. They're imposing, but they're frightening, and I want to see what they're going to do. And I want the presence of Skeletor to not be for laughs. Beastman should be someone you do not fuck with, and then you would build from there. Like Triclops would be a hired mercenary. But what I thought would be fun is that I also had Jitsu in this setup too. And I thought like, Skeletor changes his look and goes in disguise, checks out local taverns and bars. And he hears these guys in this tavern like giving this one-armed guy shit. And the guy just cuts loose and using martial arts, just knocks the fuck out of all of them. Just like doesn't kill them, but just puts them all out. And Skeletor's impressed by like what this guy can do, and he's like, "What happened to your hand?" And he's like, "I killed my father." Who trained you? My father. So how'd you lose your arm? And I just thought like his family like disowned him and shamed him. Like, you're not part of this family, so they took his most deadliest weapon, his right hand. So he's good with his left hand with the katana sword, but that's all he's got. Skeletor's like, I tell you what, you align yourself with me, I'll make you stronger than you were before, and I'll give you a replacement hand.
Hell yeah. And then that works, and it's like, oh, that's how he got his hand.
And that's how he gets his right hand.
That's
Look
awesome.
at you.
I know.
Look at you. Joe, what are you thinking? We got to get Joe in here a little bit.
Yeah.
Too.
No, I'm listening. I just wanted to
Right?
hear
I'm intrigued.
more.
I'm like, I want to hear more of this. This is awesome, Tyler.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then I thought like building up the hype for Triclops, because all of us are fans of him being a bounty hunter. So I thought like, okay.
Oh, you don't want him being a scientist?
Oh, well, I thought about it, and I was like, no, it's fucking stupid.
Never mind.
But I thought like, Skeletor, like, is obviously a fan of the sword. And like, okay, I got Jitsu here. And it's like, I need lots of swordsmen. I need like the best. And, Trial in the Dark Hemisphere, they said, no, like, you want the best, like, Triclops is the best. And, and based on his description, like, Skeletor in disguise goes in and I'm looking for Triclops. And this one guy turns and is like, and throws a knife right past his head, like, he's like, no, we don't speak that name here. And he's like, who are you? I'm Blade.
Yeah, I was hoping you would.
Yeah.
Like,
and just
I
like,
see those two like being.
And that's
rivals.
what I was going to make them rivals in the same faction. That Triclops is the best swordsman, but Blade is bound by no honor. So you got Triclops who can accomplish any mission, but if it requires a question of honor, going back to the Terror of Triclops mini comic, Blade is like bound by no honor. Like, I don't care about your honor. You give me the money, I fucking kill him. Whereas Triclops is like, I'm not just going to go and slaughter. I'm better than you are. But he is loyal to Skeletor because he's bought. But I want to have that rivalry between the two of them in the same faction, which could cause problems for missions being carried out properly.
But would you also, because I think it would be kind of cool to have those problems, but then have something that comes along the way that they're not going to be like best buds or anything.
No.
It's something where it's like it finally clicks for both of them, and it's like, you know what? Actually, we can coexist now. Because I like the idea of having them not get along, but then sort of kind of getting along, but not really.
I actually kind of like the idea of keeping them at a distance. Like, Blade is like, I want to be the only, even though you got Jitsu, but Jitsu's thing is martial arts, hand-to-hand combat. These guys are masters of the sword.
Okay.
And given that Blade has one eye,
swordsman in Eternia, and they're both kind of battling for that title of.
Yeah, and the Skeletor's like, I'll take you both. You work for me now, and always fighting to like one up. Much like how a lot of henchmen do in the show. Like, I want to be the number one guy. I want to be Skeletor's go-to. So you constantly, it's competition. Skeletor's like thrives on competition. Like, all right, just means you'll work harder for my approval. You'll work harder for more riches. Go ahead, Joe. Oh, hope his dad's all right.
So when you were saying with Blade having one eye and then Triclops, I think you were
it's like he has no visual eyes, which we don't. Yeah. I don't want to sit there and say he's blind, but he clearly operates on one eye at a time.
Yeah.
It is enhanced vision, but Blade takes right pride that I don't need enhanced vision to hit my target with a knife. Constant playing up that, he may have technology, but you know what? I'm so much more skilled. I'm deadlier with every edge weapon, not just a sword, like knives, axes, anything,
And I always feel like they would be trying to, because with Skeletor being the biggest, baddest like guy on Eternia now, they're trying to prove to him, because they're like, well, if we don't prove it to him, who's better, who are we going to prove it to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they'll both work for him to prove to him that like one's better than the other,
and to realize, okay, once they establish what the ultimate goal is, like, well, beating He-Man's the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to prove I'm the better swordsman, so you could like that one up, like giving each other shit. If Triclops fails the mission, Blade's right there, it's like dig right into that open wound of like, see if Skeletor sent me, I'd been walking right back with that power sword, and
Yep.
or
something like that.
Joe said he'll be back here in a bit, so I'll go ahead and keep him here, but just pull him out of there so people aren't just looking at like empty wall space. Now, when it comes to all of this, are you wanting him to accumulate everyone in one episode, or do you find it best to him?
No, it would be spread out.
Okay.
So like, I thought it'd be kind of cool, like as he's kind of gathering a few, he's like, I need a home, I need a dwelling of, I need a place of power, a place that says that, that I need something that's going to say that this is the home of the Lord of Destruction.
Yeah.
And
who's going to point him in the direction? Or do you have a character
he would just no one specific, but he would just kind of ask questions, and he would ask, a local, what is that? And he would point off in the distance, Snake Mountain. And it's like, oh no, sir, I'll tell you whatever you want, but you don't want to go to that place. It's haunted, like an evil snake cult supposedly lived there like a long time ago, and they would offer sacrifice.
Yeah.
Is he still in disguise as he's asking these questions? Because you were talking about that earlier, how he was showing up to these bars and taverns and things. Would he still be in disguise when that's
no? At that point, I feel like if he was going to ask a local, like, what is that, he would want a direct answer. So you look in your most imposing form as the Lord of Destruction. Like, tell me, what is that? Who lives there? And he's like, well, nobody's lived there for centuries, sir. Like it's.
Well, you could even work in a thing too, like he could be in disguise and then use the magic to take it away to really intimidate the person. It's like, all right, I'm going to ask you again.
What do you imagine his disguise as? Because I was just imagining a dark hood to where people couldn't see his face. Do you see like
he would look like a very handsome, almost like how I almost thought
how Keldor looked, right?
Yeah, I almost thought, like, as a fun joke, he would, because there is no Keldor.
Say, oh, handsome like me.
No, I may be egotistical, but I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, it's like he'll look like me. That would be funny to us. It's like, oh, he looks like Tyler. No.
Yeah.
No, that would be a cool thing to do, just because it's like a little wink and nod to NYP, It's like, we're not going to go that.
But there is no
Keldor.
Hey, there's no connection to Randall. This is it, but it just is a fun wink to the fans, like, hey, just I'm sure you can appreciate this. So he looks, handsome and regal, and just well put together, and then when it's time to, like, okay, I'm not just a pretty face, and then I've conquered one planet.
Or just be like, all right, I'll ask again. And then they explain that,
and that's when Skeletor like takes it. All right, well, this is our new home, and finds their dwelling. After a few have been established, like I still ain't quite figured out how to introduce or thought about, and of course that's up to everyone. Like Evil-Lyn.
I was actually getting ready to ask him, like, all right, so Evil-Lyn and like Trapjaw, how
Trapjaw, I definitely want him to be breaking out of a prison in the Dark Hemisphere as like a throwback to the original mini comic. That maybe he gets where, like, hey, there's a new guy, there's somebody new, in the Dark Hemisphere, and he's gathering like the best. Like, that's what we're hearing. Like, he's offering like top dollar for like the best of the best, and Trapjaw is just like, instigates a prison break to.
Can we maybe toss out this too? If we're kind of like going, it's like the prison to be introduced to Trapjaw. Can we have like some Easter eggs of some other characters maybe also being behind bars? Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of thinking along those lines too. Like not only Trapjaw, but he could like, all right, hey Webstore, look, I know you're the master of escape. We can't get out of this prison star. Like we need to like put together something like, I need money. You want out of here, I know you're the master of escape. Like, how are we going to break out of here? So, like, they issue, like, this big prison escape in the Dark Hemisphere and go looking for this guy that's, like, acquiring the best of the best.
You could even, like, even if the episode was sort of, like, mostly focused on that or had, like, a good chunk of it, like, it's just right there. You could title the episode Escape Plan,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and it's just about focusing on this prison of, because not everyone in the Dark Hemisphere is evil, but that's where a lot of it dwells, and like what few they've been able to capture, like, dwell in.
It'd be even cool to have both of them like breaking out and going to Skeletor.
That's what it would be. Is that they would, they're not friends, but they are like Trapjaw's aware of Webstore's reputation. It's like and just.
Another thing I wanted to ask you too in your thought process, and just to throw people off a little bit, and probably not something that you would want to do, but do you see any characters maybe changing their moral compass? Do you see any of these characters that have always been bad guys before, maybe starting off good and turning bad? You just want to keep it
cut and dry. I feel like, I feel like someone like that would have to be. Maybe and even that I kind of feel like it was so much fun. I can think we can all agree as kids when we would see hints of a character that looked like he might turn good, but he's like, no, I'm not. Just like when you see a temporary alliance, and it's just that tease of like someone who like, oh man, he might join up with He-Man, like no, and he just turns on him right there just to kind of get. It's just enough to tease the audience because I want evil to be evil.
Yeah.
There is no shades of gray and like, oh, he was a good man at one point, but then this tragedy happened. Like, no, these guys are selfish assholes who want to take what they want and be the best at what they do. They all have ambitions. They all want more. That's why, they are in the Dark Hemisphere. That's why Jitsu lost his hand. I'm better than my father, I could be better than him. Yeah, I'm evil. Like, I deserve the family katana sword. Or something like that.
Let me put this up here because
did we piss off someone already?
No, it's not. No, we didn't piss off anybody. But I just want to put this up here. It's just like I think this is a good thing to bring up, and it would have like a good. Well, this comes from Lion Mom. These are some good ideas, but so far it's too busy. A big part of the creative process is editing. I think maybe 70% of these details and at least 50% of the characters could be edited out.
Well, that's if I was doing 2 episodes. We're talking about like breaking this thing down. And plus, I'm spitballing this stuff. This is not like we have no deal with Netflix or anything like that.
Yeah,
we're just
this
putting
is the
out
first
ideas.
Draft, everybody.
Yeah, guys.
That will be cleaned up and set into different episodes.
And you got to think, we're talking 10 episodes, maybe a little bit more, that would range from 45 minutes to close to an hour. So
I think all these characters deserve that time and attention to introduce them.
And it doesn't have to be like super backstory heavy, but have enough.
It's a quick touch on. It's like to establish that this guy's evil, and that's all you need to know, and move on to the next one. We're building. The whole point is building up to He-Man, Adam becoming He-Man, Skeletor showing up and heading towards Grayskull, and then
Well, and let's bounce back to that as well. So as Skeletor is starting to accumulate his team, are we also, as this is going on within the episodes, or is it like jumping back? It's like, oh, what's Adam doing? And then are these going simultaneously in each episode? Or are you kind of given like an episode maybe dedicated to this and then an episode to kind of flesh this out more?
But I kind of felt like a way to establish, and maybe it is oversaturated, but I also felt like this is a vast world.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that's why I felt like you need to have several episodes to tell this story, but I also kind of felt like we want to bring in the faction of the heroic warriors. And of course, you would introduce more in another season, but we need to establish that there are people all over the planet are being affected by this new force from the Dark Hemisphere, like Skeletor sending out warriors over here, warriors over there, and Buzz-Off's people are being affected. Avion's being affected. Then you got random people who kind of show up out of the blue, like, you know, your Ram-Mans, your Fistos, that are not part of the royal palace. They are part of this world. They've seen this evil that's showing up. Like, I don't know what that is, but you know what? You know, or they kind of are starting to unite over time for a greater cause. Like, they all kind of like, well, at some point, Randall would say, I'm asking all, you know, all communities of people, you know, people of Avion, people, you know, of the bee people, and this race and that race, you know, I'm asking you to come to the palace in a time of crisis. Like, you know, I'm not sure what is going on our planet. That, you know, there are these creatures, warriors are invading various populaces. They're destroying, they're plundering, they're taking, and we don't know why they're doing it, and they're moving on to the next one.
And as Randor's kind of giving this speech, that could be the good way to kind of like show the different spots of like, here's what the shit that's going down. So it's not, you don't have to spend like
an episode showing it.
Yeah, and you don't have to have like a 10-minute scene of like showing that. It could be as Randor's giving a speech. It's like, we're cutting to this, and you see the destruction and just little blips, but it's enough to flesh it out to show
like,
you.
I mean, you could say with like one particular you know, area, like, you know, we understand that a fishman brought a massive tidal wave and destroyed the fishing villages, you know, and nearby whatever. You know, you don't see merman, you just know, okay, a fisherman, that was merman.
Yeah,
you know, all told in exposition.
And it goes to like a good wink and nod, because someone like Merman, you could just like drop the little hint of it right there and then not reveal them until like the next season if you wanted to.
Yeah, or like, you know, and it's all this stuff. It was not. I just had ideas and just wanted to share them with you guys. Really, so.
And the thing too with like when I pop that up there, because I, you know, I enjoy the constructive criticism,
and I appreciate that. And I want people, if you don't like something, disagree with it. Like well, who was it? What was the name of the person that just said that?
Lion Mom.
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 Yeah.
Men on a mission.
Anything like that. Yeah. You know, blurt it out. You know?
Discuss it with us. I appreciate that. Make comments and everything.
Yeah.
As for Evil Lynn, I think she would come to Skeletor. I think with her magic, she would sense this great evil and seek that out instead of him coming to her like, oh, I heard of a sorceress.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And I could almost imagine her showing him Snake Mountain, almost like she was like studying it in the ancient snake men and everything, and she's heard of it. She's like, well, I know of a place, kind of thing.
I like that idea.
Would you kind of would you go the angle with it like a love interest deal between them, or would you keep that completely?
I don't think so.
I would kind of maybe hint at it, but you really don't need to focus. And I definitely would like kind of stay away from like, you know, that whole idea of like Evelyn turning on him, like looking for like, I just kind of feel like it's over. And NYP did that shit, you know, and on occasion, you know, like Evelyn would talk a big game, but she was ultimately very loyal to Skeletor. I kind of like how she was portrayed in the live action movie.
Yes.
You like her being selfish?
I like her being a little more selfish in that she's with Skeletor because he is the most powerful evil sorcerer on Eternia now, demons. So she's like, well, I'm going to get with this guy, be his right-hand lady kind of thing, and not so much. Like you said, I really loved her in the live-action movie where she would be like, she would help him, but then you see scenes of her like, he's a fucking asshole, you know?
No, I would never want to feel like, you know, that she's like Harley Quinn, where she's like so in love, Mr. S, no. You know? No, but she's like, you know, like, yeah, would say like
there is a sense of loyalty there, but if it was down to it, she would save herself over him.
Yeah.
But there is a sense of loyalty there. But I don't like the love thing because I like to see these bad guys as non-loving kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, I don't need to see Skeletor and Evelyn holding hands in the mouth of Snake Mountain.
because
no,
yeah,
nothing
because
like
it would
that,
just
no.
humanize them too much, and they need to, like you said, they just need to be evil, like evil.
You can
for the
hint
sake of
at
being
it,
evil.
like in the live action movie where they're like, "Oh, they're really close right there," you know.
Yeah,
But
it's not
like,
talking about
"Oh, I
love.
love
They're
you,
talking about
Skeletor." It's more of
they're
like a
talking about
passion kind
He-Man.
of thing. Yeah.
It's like the moment, like their behavior is insinuating there's an intimacy there, but they're not talking about being intimate. They're talking about, we need to destroy He-Man. Like I need, if I kill him, I'll make him a martyr.
Never love. It's always, if there's any kind of hint of anything, it's like it's a passion or a lust. It's not like this pure love like you see with Adam and Teela kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Well, let's
differentiate the bad guys from the good guys.
Yeah.
They love in a different way than
bounce back over to Adam becoming He-Man. So once he's told all of this stuff and essentially overwhelmed by all this information, going forward with him, do you want? Because I'm of two minds. Because anytime, like, any superhero has gotten their powers, there's always like that period where they're kind of stumbling over themselves. With him being the most powerful man in the universe, do you want to come out of the gate of having him almost be perfect, or would you like there to be a lot of those imperfections of him trying to figure out how to wield this
I
new
want Adam to be
responsibility?
as relatable as possible. The same thing when it becomes time to introduce Adora, I need her to be just as relatable to the audience as well, both men and women. So Adam needs to be learning about these things, struggling with, like, okay, wait a second, you're telling me I have no choice in this matter? Like, yeah, the idea of wielding a sword and becoming the strongest man in the universe, but you're telling me that I got to be ready to go into action at any time, any place. The source just tells me I got to drop what I'm doing. I have to, like, knowing that I have to disappoint my father on a near daily basis, as if I wasn't doing that enough already. Now I really have to go out of my way to put myself in a position that's going to make my mother, my father, my other family, my close friends all hate me, because I have to take on this responsibility, because you're telling me I'm destined to do that. And on top of that, you're telling me I have a twin sister that my mother and father never even told me about. I like the layer of depth and trauma that Adam is going to be going through, which makes his responsibility that much more greater. We all know what it's like to take on family responsibilities, things you didn't ask for, and you didn't ask for any of this stuff,
Guys,
and yet you still.
I gotta get out.
No, okay, I'm sorry,
Joe,
you're fine, bud.
Hey, let's just Joe, let's do how we did before. I'll just remove you from here. If you want to come back, come back. Come check on it. Yeah, you're good.
it's okay,
You're
Joe.
fine, bud. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, it happens,
I know it happens. I just hate that for him.
Yeah. So, I guess the next part of that is, all right, information overload. But what would be? Because I mean, you would obviously have to set the stage for what his first adventure as He-Man would be. So,
yeah,
what would the conflict be there? Is he just going to have a one-on-one with one of Skeletor's newly acquired warriors? Would it be something, because you said you want to keep them kind of separate for a little bit?
Separate, but as you're building to that first fight at Grayskull, I would have He-Man take on two of the evil warriors, because that would be the first time He-Man is interacted with one of the other factions. Like, you could have like a lower tier villain, almost like a throwaway, but like a fun little nod to the audience, and like,
all right, well, who would you have in mind?
I almost feel like, I don't know if like a warrior of some kind or a wizard of some kind, to show that He-Man could tackle wizardry, that war could get back to Skeletor. Like, there's this guy with a sword that took out, this such and such. Is like,
he's got to be the first guy to go back to Skeletor and be like, I was defeated by this dude.
Well, that's why I feel like that's when the evil warriors would get their asses handed to them. Wait, who did this to you? One guy did this to you? Like, that's when it would be, and that's when Skeletor's start observing, like, something about this guy, and I just have this feeling about him and this castle, this Grayskull. Like, I don't know what the connection is here, but there's just something very, like, there's I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find out what it is. I don't know, but he won't know until he comes face to face with him at Grayskull.
So what you're saying is like the first guy that gets his ass kicked, it should be like what, like Mighty Spectre or something. I'm kidding. No, that character does not even need to be in this at all. But
if we could get away with this, if we could get away with just drawing like this dumbass, just with the mask on, like, hey guy, I'm better than you, guy, and then He-Man just smashes his head clean out of his ass, and, I'm mighty. I'm the ghost. They call me Spectre, man. Some shit like that.
No, I'm gonna veto that. I don't think we need to have that in there. But
no, we don't.
I do like the idea of it being like a lower tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, something more simple.
Someone like either a Kothos or a Negator. Someone who's got like a high ego of themselves, but He-Man like puts them in their place, and it's a fun nod to the fans. Like, hey, here's a classic character, comes in to be He-Man's first villain he takes on.
Yeah.
Because a Skeletor needs to be at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Like you don't throw that away. You keep that building and building. And
it could also be like a, not a villain, but like something happening, like.
Oh yeah, a
landslide or something, and like somebody, like this woman's about to get crushed, and then like it stops.
Yeah.
She like looks up and it pans up his body, and it's like.
So it's kind of like the best thing about fucking Superman Returns.
Yeah, like a big tragedy, like something that Merman has caused, or like Whiplash has done.
So it's their duty, but he's not like in combat with them yet. Just yet.
No, like he shows up, sees what's going on, and like Whiplash is like destroying this bridge, and this family's going, and he like had him snaps into action and goes, and then when Whiplash says, I destroyed the bridge like you told me to, like, then explain to me why the people survived, like, and he's like, well, I destroyed the bridge. I don't know how they could have survived. Well, they did it somehow, or just an example of like they come back. I did what you told me to do. I won. Like, no, you didn't. The people survived. You were supposed to go and destroy it, and everyone in there, and he didn't do it. Or it could be with Merman creating, a massive tidal wave, destroying, flooding, and He-Man, or something like that.
So as we were talking about, well, who would they fight? Lion Mom said need an enticing incident. It's hard to set up a hero character if the hero is just jumping up to fight the group labeled bad guys. That's why both series Bibles had Skeletor attacking the palace. So yeah, I think as you said, it'd probably be better to have an event happen that shows what he's capable of without having to really fight them. And as you said, have that character be like, I did the thing. Well, then why is this here? And
well, that's why I didn't want any kind of like interaction with He-Man and the Evil Warriors until we're gearing up to climax. Yeah. That's why in between there, you're building the world of Skeletor. You're building the world of He-Man. You're expanding and introducing a character here and there. You're not focusing on that. Yeah. You're just building the world.
But they're destined to clash.
Yeah, you're building up to that ultimate clash.
Yeah.
That's why, it is busy because there's a lot to introduce, but you're not spending as much as I'm talking about it. It's not.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, that was just the comment they're saying busy. To me, what I'm thinking, when you really think about it, like, I remember watching the first season of Game of Thrones, and I was like, there's so many fucking characters. But then over time, it all made sense.
Yeah.
And you remembered who was who and what they were doing, what was going on. So, yeah, it might be a lot to absorb, but I think, as you said, if you're going along with the ride, then it will all make sense. If you ride it well, and it works.
Yeah, time. And we're not introducing ideas and concepts like Granomir or, the Spell Stone or even Shakoti and Mass. This is establishing Skeletor as a number one and He-Man as a number one. Mm-hmm. You're planting seeds for a season 2 of Adam going to look for Edora. You plant a little nod here for this, a little nod here for that.
Yeah.
So that way you have certain episodes where you've got, characters going off on another adventure because they're going to look for this particular item or to go and stop this.
I don't know about the whole item thing.
Well, and that's because
like the fetch quest episodes, I like, sure, like they have their place, but is that something that you really want to have a decent amount of.
No. When I say that, I don't mean like because NYP did that a shit ton. I mean, to the point where you're like,
that's kind of how it all started, right? Like most of the episodes, like we have to find this.
We'll look for the Emerald or Orcus. Like for God's sake, how many more like artifacts of the Masters got to look for this time? Like this is bullshit. It is just an was it MacGuffin or whatever the fuck? How I don't know my English terminology for storytelling, Okay. But just it is a means to an end to get our heroic warriors to clash with another villain of some kind, Yeah. But these are just ideas, like that you could afford to give one episode to buzz off
and then some things just need to be like, you explain it a little bit or have flashbacks. And speaking of that, when we're going from these adventures and everything, we also have to have those moments too where Adam was already talking about, they're already disappointing me enough. Do you want to see a lot of that, of him being put down, where it's like he spent like most of his day doing this and now he's at this thing and he's like falling asleep and like Teela's getting pissed off at him? It's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And would you want it to be while these things are happening? Do you want Teela and Clamp Champ? Because I think Clamp Champ needs to play. He needs to be since the totally childhood friends.
I would want him to be like a legitimate like best friend to Adam.
Yeah,
because he is worked hard. He is now the king of Eternia's royal bodyguard. He has got arguably next to He-Man the biggest responsibility right now of protecting the king. So he's like Adam, like we're pals and all that, but like
it's a McMuffin, Tyler.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it's just that. It's fine.
Yeah.
But do you want, as these things are happening, do you want Teela and Clamp Champ to have any kind of inclination that they're starting to pick up on something that
No.
Adam is hiding, or you want it just
over
more
time? You just knowing that like okay, Adam's. I don't know what Adam's problem is. He's being weird. He's being distant.
Yeah.
Like I want Teela and Adam to be best friends, but also the point where she's like giving him shit because she feels like he's not living up to his true potential, or that because her and Clamp Champ take their duty seriously and Adam as Prince does not.
Yeah.
Because they're all like young adults at this point, and she thinks he's not growing up because he's
running away and
because he's sleeping all the time because he's tired from saving everybody all the time, and she's like, you gotta fucking grow up, man. And then Clamp Champ can be that maybe you're being too hard on him kind of thing. Like we don't know what's going on with him. He's got a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah, we need that counterbalance. Like one busting his balls and one's like, what, back off.
Yeah.
But then you got Man at Arms there, like who's like trying to soften the waters. And of course, he gets mad at Duncan.
Yeah, he's being
like, why are you always protecting him? Like you're always taking up for him. Like I'm your daughter, and yet you're treating him like he's the son you never had.
Yeah.
But do you want to make Teela like super bitchy, or do you?
No, I want her because I would love to.
You know what I'm saying though, like because
I know, but
she's
I want
fiery and passionate, not bitchy.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like the importance of this whole idea for a new cartoon is to expand upon the personalities that we've all fell in love with.
Yes.
Give Teela context and texture. Give her layers to like why she's such a hard ass.
Mm-hmm.
Is because she likes Adam. She's mad at him that he won't give her the time of day because she wants to be what he's not into. And she's she takes what she's worked so hard for, very responsible because she is a woman leading the Royal Guard. So she's got that chip on her shoulder to prove that even though she's already captain of the guard, like. Teela, you've already accomplished your goal. Why are you still constantly like you got a chip on your shoulder all the time? Why can't you just be happy you have accomplished what you set out to do? What is up your ass all the time? And just kind of like establishing like she's just never quite gotten over the fact that I thought like being like one of the boys, you would like me. That if I'm like you and Clamp Champ, you would be into me, and you're not. And it's like, all right, fine, I'll show you that I'm like, not only am I just as good, but I'm better than you guys. And and it's just she's let her passions get the better of her. Like she's just like it's just snowballed into this mindset she just can't seem to shake. That she can't just be happy with what she's accomplished. She's just always fighting for Adam's attention, which means she's got to bust his balls all the time because it's establishing like what, all right, see. If you just listen to me, it's just, and never quite understand because I would love for that one when that day comes, way down the road, when her destiny is established that she will become the new sorceress, and she realizes all these years who Adam was this entire time, it makes her feel like, oh my God. And that hard shell that she has developed just shatters. And she becomes everything that her mother was the entire time, the most warm and loving. And like when their son comes along, when Dare comes along, she wants to be what she wants to be what her mother was and not be anything like how Tila was when she was younger, a hard ass. Always trying to make up for, like, I was so hard on your father all those years, and I never want my son to experience that, which is why I always had.
But that's like way.
But that's
gonna be her growth throughout the whole show.
That would be her arc of like understanding, especially when she learns who her mother is at some point. Maybe that would be way down the road.
All right. Well, let's ask this then. Let's say hypothetically, this first season does really well. How long would you want it to go? Given the format's like 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
How far would you want it to go to be like, I don't want it to overstay its welcome, but I want to have enough to tell the appropriate stories? I know that's kind of like getting really ahead of itself too.
No, but I would end the series with, Adam, Skeletor is vanquished for a time, but it's enough to where the balance is shifted to where, okay, we're good. Adam would retire the power sword. Adora would retire her power sword. And you set up that Tila takes up the mantle as the sorceress, and I said this a while back, but I found this to kind of connect to the idea of like the birth of their son Hero, is that they have the son in secret, because they know at some point their son would have to take up the mantle of Hero, but they don't tell anybody about it. So they kind of marry in secret, have a child in secret, and only Man-at-Arms, maybe Clamp Champ, and Orko would be aware that
I think Clamp Champ would have to be told, because being
and that's why I kind of feel like that there needs to be an evolution of the character, that he would be not like he's not going to become the new Man-at-Arms. He would just be like, he has become such a staple in the royal palaces, like, and a friend of Adam's like, okay, you know what, now the time for me to tell you the truth of what's been going on. And he would become like part of the inner circle going forward, that when Dare would come of age, he would kind of take up the place where Man-at-Arms was. But there's I have a whole idea of
that's like seasons and seasons. So
I said, it that would just be like, we're tying up Masters of the Universe, She-Ra's story, He-Man's story. Etheria is safe from the Horde. Eternia is safe from the evil warriors.
Now that brings up a good thing, because you had talked about him finding out that he has a twin sister. Would you have her show up at all? I feel like she
not in season 1. No.
I feel like she would have to be like the thing that is like the maybe after like the end credits deal, where it's like you see something of her, so you know that she's here and she's coming. Would that be a season 2 thing, or do you see it more as like that could be its own separate thing that would eventually blend together? Because if you start to have her there and bring her in, wouldn't that start to take away from the story that you're trying to tell with He-Man?
Well, that's why I would build up the reason why she would stay on Etheria.
Okay.
Is that He-Man's the purpose of the swords is to defend Grayskull, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's done his part. I have to go find this long lost sister of mine. And when he does find her, I would like to keep, and I'm sure Newt would probably like to keep, the fact that Hordak has raised her, and she is part of the evil Horde, living a life that she sees as normal, doesn't see it as anything like,
So it would essentially be He-Man exposing the truth to her, to be like, your life is a lie.
Yeah. Once she learns,
she gets the same kind of epiphany that he gets when it's like all this is revealed to him.
And that's why she's like, I'm destined to leave this planet and go home with you and defend this castle I've never heard of, and been living and help destroy this planet of all these people who didn't ask to be taxed and destroyed. Like, I can't leave this planet. She feels
obligated and guilty for having supported that her whole life.
Yeah, so she's like, exactly. So she's like, I can't leave here. Like, and then the sources understand, is like, you know what? you've earned that right to stay. So you honor Grayskull by carrying on its power on another planet in another galaxy. So it sets her up in her
to have her own
series.
spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And that would be kind of what season 2 would be kind of like.
You would kind of. So and I was going to get to that too. So we're building and building because you were saying we're building to this ultimate climax. We've kept them separate. The other, for the most part, like the other 9 episodes, but the 10th episode is like we're finally going to get that clash.
Yeah.
Finally between the two. So how do you see, like, how does that come to pass? How do we get to that fight? And then what is your aftermath? And how does that flow into a season 2 to where we start to get into, because you would kind of want a little bit of season 2 to start with that She-Ra arc, because you would have to end that in a way where it would give He-Man the time to go there to free.
That's what
Dora.
I kind of felt like. Granted, this stuff, it's all.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I initially thought too, like, because we all like the Hordak mini comic where Hordak and Skeletor team up, and I would love to kind of like, Skeletor would ultimately lose the battle and retreat and would be like consumed, like, and it's really like, I've never lost before. I've never lost, like, and of course I in my mind I felt like he conquered Infinita. And that was like enough to inflate his ego. Like I'm leaving the Horde. Fuck Hordak. I'm gonna go out on my own. He conquers the first planet, accomplishes everything, and it's like, all right, I'm going after another one. And because he lost, that's where the obsession of like, I gotta have it, and I'm gonna destroy him too. I will not be denied what I want. I don't know what's in there, but I know it's got everything that I could ever hope for, and being the greatest. I mean, force of evil, the greatest being in the universe, but I have to have it, and that's where the obsession of like I'm not going to stop until I get it. Give me more evil warriors, more weapons, more vehicles. Like it's just the constant expansion.
And you could have like a montage of hey, look, here's Too Bad in a flash.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more Too Bad later, but here's him acquiring Too Bad. Here, look at these vehicles that you remember as a kid. Like little winks and nods that it's things that it's not smashing you over the head. Hey, nostalgia, you remember that, right? But things that's just like, oh, holy shit.
It's giving it purpose. He's like, I need more. I need more weapons. I need more warriors. I need more. I need more power. So you could see him, contemplating like were there other sources of power throughout the planet that where he could go looking for Shakoti. But you hint at it, but you don't.
Yeah, it's like dropping the nuggets and then maybe having more of a payoff on it later.
Yeah.
Here was a comment from Febmon. I think a 13 episode season might do better than 10, and I'm actually inclined to agree because Daredevil was 13.
Well, 10 was just like the first thing just came to mind. Like
let's do 13 because I think that would help out quite a bit.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Hell, it could be. I don't know what the standard like load for like animated series are anymore. If it's like 20 or if it's 10, 13. Or whatever.
I guess it just sort of depends on like how it's being distributed. Like, because I know Netflix would range anywhere from like 8 to 13 or 10. So I think 13 would be the way to go. That way it could help you sort of flesh out a little more if you needed to kind of like slow it down in some spots and not like kind of
because I don't I mean, do you think, Rebecca, too, like, I mean, I really want this to be a nice burn of like, because we all know you don't get to see a whole lot of
where the fuck is it?
I'm just trying to pull one that's not going to like destroy the shelf. Here we go. I'll just
Too Bad. That's what we're talking
to see
about before.
a lot of like legitimate Too Bad time. Like you don't want to see him as
that.
I don't want. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to see that. I don't want all these characters to just be brushed over and just already like there kind of thing.
Yeah,
I do want.
I want him like to be brought in as like he is brought in because he's a strategist. You got two heads better than one. That not only are they
something, they're not just muscle. They're not just all.
Yeah, they are formidable, but I want to see them sitting at the council table with Skeletor. Like, okay, look, Skeletor, if you attack from the west side over here, you're going to distract these people. And just like they have become like his go-to guys in terms of combat and scheming. And I want it to stay that way. I want them established enough to where like they've done enough right by Skeletor that he confides in them for like planning and plotting, along with Evelyn as well, and that they could disagree, but have a little fun with it, but also make them like, these guys, you don't trifle with these guys. Like, not only are they smart, but they will fuck you up.
Another thing we didn't touch on either is sort of the character looks. Are there any of them that you want to make changes to? And I guess the other question too is, when I'm thinking about He-Man, obviously I like the way that NYP did it, to where there is a distinct difference in look between Adam and He-Man, because I feel like you got to do that. If they look too much alike, and people can think what they want about Filmation. It's like, oh well, it's just his skin tone changed. How did no one not know? They look exactly the same. I do want
He-Man to have a tan. Like, I would like He-Man to,
Well, yeah, but I think they do need to have a definite size,
but not like where he looks like a giant pussy, like how the good people who worked on Revelation made him look.
No, he looks good in NYP. I thought it didn't.
Yeah, he's fine, but his personality sucked. But like the size difference, size difference in NYP was great. Like, He-Man is definitely legitimately bigger than Adam.
You have to do that. But are there any other characters that you would be willing to make any changes to? And I say this, and this was the other thing that I don't even know really. I'm gonna bring it up, but just touch on it briefly. When we were saying last week, and we were having some fun and joking about, like the woke culture from our point of view, because I know how that could easily offend other people out there. I
could fart and offend somebody out there.
Well, I want people to know that us making light of it is more so about how Hollywood and these companies are more about like, look what we did. We made this character black. I'm like, okay, well, you could have just done that and not made it seem like this was you were held at gunpoint to do.
Look what I did. I'm awesome.
So
you don't need to say that.
Yeah. So I wanted to throw that out there. But
I had briefly thought about like making Man at Arms black, and have like Keith David voice him.
Well, you can't go wrong with Keith David.
No, but I just thought like, I felt like it's not to say because I don't like catering to that, but I do feel like ethnicity. There is ethnicity in He-Man, but it definitely could be expanded upon a great deal, to the point where it's here, it's there, and you know what? Who cares?
Yeah.
The world. It's just like when we're all children, we see people of different ethnicities. We don't know ethnicity. We just say, "Hey, that's my buddy over there," and I know her. She's in my kindergarten class. We do not see colors or ethnicity, race. We see people, and that's how I want Master of the Universe to be. You see people.
Man, we should all just sit there and clap right now after that. Yeah. That's how it needs to be. And not.
I will say that one thing I want to say, like, because you get called racist or sexist for not liking the new She-Ra. I was disappointed that the new She-Ra show did not make Huntara actually black, which does not take much, digging into to find out that she was supposed to be.
Yep.
But they did a disservice there by not making her black. So, where they should have changed the race of somebody, they dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, and I think it's important to encourage it, but also like don't make it about like, and that's why I feel like this is not, and that's why this property means so much to me, is because the villains are all so vastly different. The heroes are all so different, and you know what? That's what makes them cool. I didn't like Clamp Champ because I just thought, well, it's cool to like a black guy. No, I thought he visually looked awesome to me as a child. Like, I want to know more about that guy.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that he was one of the last guys to come out and pretty much got the short end of the stick.
Where's our Malaxa figure?
Our Malactha, our Garn figures. There's the list goes on and on of various ethnicities.
They had
where's your Malaxa?
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, Nathan is answered the call right there.
Huh. Where's your Malaxa figure, huh? Just so happens that got a Malaxa figure right here.
He's got a figure of Wily Walt. How about that?
Yeah. Got my own Wily Walt over here. I'm sure people notice this, but this was Joe Amato creation here.
Look at it.
Actually has I probably should have brought that over here too. I know Joe's showing it off, and he's popped back up, so I'll get him on the screen there.
All right.
No, it's they
but
they had great black characters that existed, so I don't understand why they want to erase them and then that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That is so cool. Good job, Jim. But I don't see why they want to erase them and then turn other characters black and then pat themselves on the back and like, look, there were no black characters before. It's like, no, there were great ones.
Yeah, it's like they're thinking like, where's all the black people?
It's fine, but it's like,
yeah.
Don't pretend like they didn't exist before, because there were great ones before that are not getting the love and attention that they deserved.
Welcome back, Joe. You'll have to.
You okay, bud?
You okay?
Yeah. Okay.
You'll have to, Joe. You'll have to go back and listen to some of the stuff with the ideas and things that we had.
It might make you kind of upset.
Why do you say that? Did something happen?
I'm just being stupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. I mean, we're starting to reach a point, even though Joe popped back in, where we should start to kind of wrap it up with what we got going on with.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick before we kind of dive into that real quick.
Yeah, we'll do that, and while he's doing that, and we'll wrap up and kind of give some more final thoughts and ideas and kick them out. I'll do the Joe thing. You guys go ahead. If you got questions, go ahead and pop them up there in the chat.
I seen you were showing Malactha just as I sat down.
You want to talk about this at all?
Oh no, it was, and Malactha is the first vintage carded custom I ever made. That's how much I love that character. I always was like, why didn't he get a figure? He deserved to have a figure. Yeah, and so when Nathan wanted his, I immediately had Malactha done, but what he's holding in his other hand, the ancient mirror of Avatar, is what held me up so long. It's like, I gotta make this perfect. And I mean perfect. And Nathan seen some of the early stuff I did, and I was like, no fucking way I can deliver that to him. It was just wretched. So I gave him I sculpted every bit of that. I made a great mold of it, cast it out, put the picture on there. Thank you. And actually we'll give like a little reflect kind of thing, in the light in a way. So yeah, like right there. So you see, it's like a mirror. And but for Malactha, I sculpted the entire outfit for his chest, try to give wrinkles in the shirt just to look like parts in the cartoon. And I appreciate your patience, Nathan, but that mirror had me OCD. I wanted that perfect and try to age it and stuff. So yeah. Okay. So any questions in the chat?
We'll waiting for him to pop in now that Tyler's back. We'll get him here. So well, let's reach the final stages here. So when we're talking about that final battle, this clash in the last episode of season 1, what do you think that we need to see in that? What would be the definite thing? Because I see a lot of it is just and who would be on the heroic warriors end of things, because we kind of didn't talk about that either. Like, what other heroic warriors are we going to be seeing in season 1 aside from Teela and Clampchamp?
I mean, I felt like, I kind of thought it kind of fun to mix it up, because I would, it's fun to think of like characters that you would expect to show up in season 1 don't show up quite yet. I thought the idea of bringing in various races to kind of unite for a common cause, like the end battle would kind of be a representation. Okay, we all have a purpose like this. We have an alliance that we must honor because there's this threat on this planet that, it's not going anywhere. So we got to unite and be the heroic warriors to, protect Avion, protect the bee people, to protect, various villages, to protect Dark Smoke, in various locations on the planet, because Skeletor's forces are expanding all over the planet. They're looking to hit this and looking to hit that. So you know what? Many faces, you got to be willing to, join up with Stratos if Avion is under attack. Buzz off if the Royal Palace is under attack. I need you to go help Teela and Clampchamp, or if Dark Smoke's under attack.
How would Buzz off sound? Would he sound like Bill Cosby?
Hell no. He would sound like the very prestigious Alan Oppenheimer voice, not like I'm Cosby. God, I get so mad when he does it, because I love Filmation Buzz off so much, and even when I watch Disappearing Dragons, I'm like that asshole Joe, like.
So, would you think when we were talking earlier about Randor talking when we have them there, it's like we all need to be united, and we're getting those flashbacks or not flashbacks, but just kind of like real time of destruction that is taking place in the other quadrants. Is this sort of when you would kind of introduce, like, sounds really cheesy, but would you have sort of that Lord of the Rings moment where it would like Buzz off would stand up and it's like, I'm with you, to kind of like just like, oh,
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, kind of like,
that.
you know, like the you know, not to say that they were at odds, but you know what, we they've had no reason to support Avion, or Avion's had no reason to support, you know, the Evergreen Forest where Mossman would be dwelling, you know, and I wouldn't say Mossman's got to show up to represent the forest, but I'm feeling like everyone is affected in some form or another, which is why they would all unite with He-Man. It's like, okay, I'll
We've
stand
talked
with
about
you.
Mossman before and how he should be like introduced. And I think he should be introduced later, maybe in season 2.
I agree. Like I feel like we need like a finite, good, solid group of a starting lineup of heroic warriors. We don't need everybody because that's just oversaturation. It's just too much.
Leave room to grow in seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think
seasons.
outside of like you got your basics, but you know, Stratos, Buzz Off, Mechanic, I think is appropriate because I want to establish that friendship with Mechanic and Buzz Off. Like I want that established, like, you know, somehow. I mean, you know, hell, Snout Spout. You know, why can't Snout Spout be one of the members of the starting lineup? Like, why can't he be, you know, someone who's not, you know, why does he have to be later on? Why can't he be right there as one of the Royal Firefighters or you know?
Well, I think that would be a good way. That would be a good base to kind of pull from. Like, have your Snout Spout, have Extendar.
Like,
since they're so like closely related.
Yeah, like Stendar could be like a sports champion, you know, and sees like, you know what I'm capable of doing goes above and beyond entertaining, you know, at the Royal Palace. Like, you know, sign me up, you know.
Yeah.
I am a knight, so I'll join the fight. And Snout Spout's having to help put out fires in various places. Like, you know, you got me wherever there's a fire. I'll be there. I'll go all the way to Darksmoke. I'll go to Avion. I'll go to, you know, the Fortress in the Sands. Wherever you go, I will go to help put out fires.
Daniel Carhoonen is with you.
There we go. But yeah, it would just be, you know, because I felt like the climactic battle would just be Skeletor and his evil warriors.
Yeah.
No armies of skeletons, no armies of this and that. It is just the evil warriors, like all as a faction.
It needs to be like an intimate battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's met with like they show up, and I'm leaving out stuff because you know I know we got to wrap things up and all that, but. And we can always come back to this topic. Because I feel like we could discuss like how the She-Ra show could progress.
I think that should be another episode. You know, I think this would be a cool continuation to do this more often.
Yeah.
Continue our series.
Because I think just like not even like we just barely touched the surface. I mean, we didn't even do that. But I would want it to be like it looks like He-Man facing off against the entire faction by himself, and like. You know, He-Man, like Skeletor sends one after another to take on He-Man, and he's like, all right, enough. I'm doing this. And just when it becomes a stalemate, like they're fighting on the Jawbridge, like I would want the fight to be on the Jawbridge, over the abyss of Grayskull, like He-Man and Skeletor clashing swords in the rain. And then when it just looks like it might go one way, the heroic warriors show up. I don't want to sound like I'm stealing from The Last Stand, but I would want to see a big fight with the factions, not just showing up and chasing them away like in The Last Stand, because I'm like, this is kind of fucking lame.
Yeah.
I want them showing up, and there's actually a big battle ensuing with the heroic warriors, the Palace Guard, and the various evil warriors that are there. That it looks like one of the puzzles, you know, the Golden Book puzzles or something like that. That's what it needs to the imagery needs to represent. You know. And
did we already talk about like how the battle itself would end? How would they part ways? Like how would you want to work that to where it's like it's done for now, sort of, but not really.
To the point where like Skeletor's like, I'm not getting past this guy, but He-Man did not physically beat him.
Yeah.
It needs to be kind of like a tease of like we're destined to do this forever.
Yeah, but and
Kinda
then
thing.
go into the whole idea where you're saying he was like, I need more.
Yeah.
And then that's when, that's the more warriors, more weapons, more vehicles, etc.
Is a fun nod to like expand, like, you see the land shark being worked on by Trapjaw. You see Spikor working on the Terror Claws. Anything and everything that would be a fun nod to fans, but it's not to be like, you remember Barrys? You remember that? You remember that too? Like, no, it's just like Skeletor's trying everything he can to take the power of Grayskull. And I think I even thought about too, like actually having maybe this season, like Skeletor takes Castle Grayskull, like in the next to last episode, and then the very last episode would be He-Man and the Heroic Warriors uniting and breaking into Grayskull, and a big fight ensues, fighting up on the parapets, fighting outside the castle. Kind of like in the Golden Books. I had all kinds of ideas in my head, so nothing was concrete, and I feel like I'm talking too damn much, and I'm hogging up time here. People.
No.
No. This was all your ideas.
Yeah,
so
this is what it needed.
It's not about me though. Like I want you guys.
Well, I know, but what we have, that was the whole thing. It's like you're talking, and we're like giving the input or asking questions, and then we're just. I mean, this isn't just us all sitting here like, oh yeah, man. Just in agreement with you, but there was not really anything in it that I saw, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's a terrible fucking idea. If something that you said sounded kind of stupid, me, I'm gonna be like, dude,
I know. Well, Joe already was like, so
I gotta go.
Yeah,
that's where Joe. That's where Joe really went. He had to go and just be like,
like Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura.
What was that
too,
from?
Like,
I knew that was
Yeah.
Here's a question from Havoc Staff. I'll just put that up there for you. Then put that up there for you. When's this guy showing up?
Johnny Havoc's song store. He did a cosplay of him. That's Havoc Staff.
Oh, okay. I have no problem like having songsters like a minstrel that could is a fun Easter egg of like being in the royal court, spinning stories of like a great
She-Ra character.
What's that?
I always felt like Songster was more of a She-Ra character.
I'd be game for that. That way we take this, because I think James even said recently that Bo was not supposed to be a minstrel character either.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fine with making Bo the Robin Hood of the Princess of Power mythology and make Songster the minstrel.
You gave him that role. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
Here's one from Fedmon. Queen Marlena is an astronaut from Earth?
Yes.
Would that be something? Would that be something that would be explained at all in season 1, or would that be something you would save for down the road?
I'd say in a almost like how Teela's Quest, like the episode opens with this one of the most beautiful moments of the entire series of Adam and Marlena looking at the visuals that are projecting from a Man-at-Arms head projector, and that music that plays, and her talking about it was a beautiful place filled with beautiful people, and Adam's like sounds as if it was just it's like 30 seconds of the footage of them talking, but that has such an impact of like the relationship I want Adam and Marlena to have in this series as well, like that he can go and talk to her, when Randor's like giving him shit, you're a terrible son, you're an embarrassment to me, and then but Marlena, because we all know a mother always knows, she's always there to consult Adam even in the harshest of times, and when it clearly looks like Adam is being very irresponsible, she's the only one that is there to hug her son and remind her that what he's doing is right. But not implying already that she knows, but you're left wanting, like, why is she so, it's just, you know what, fuck it. Only us fans would know that. You get around, you don't have to say, we're not going to have no epiphany moment where she says, Adam, I've known all along. We're not doing that shit.
We're not doing this. Here's a comment from Chris Carter. I think it'd be cool to have Rio Blast serving as the armorer.
I kind of like him as like law enforcement.
In what way, though? Like, just so we're establishing that there's going to be like cops and like he's the fucking deputy or something.
No, not like that. That he would be a result.
There's a snake in my boot.
Oh, for God's sake! He's not going to be Woody. He's not going to be Buzz
And he doesn't need
Lightyear
an accent, and he
Woody.
doesn't need to be doing like
Tar
slang.
Nation eating barbecue sauce and all that
Yeah,
shit. No.
exactly.
Oh,
He
come on.
doesn't-
You know what? Here's my input. I want Rio Blast to be like a fumbling cop eating something akin to donuts. And I want him to yuck it up. And I want him to be the comedic relief. I want him to be
And
the
he's
Barney Fife.
Eating
of the
beanie
Master
weenies out of a
Universe.
can.
Yeah. No, yeah. Little
Yeah.
Smokies.
No.
Yeah. God.
Sitting and farting by a fucking bonfire. That's what we need to do with Rio Blast.
No.
I'm
No.
kidding. Hey, you said you wanted our input, man. Come on.
Yeah, and you know what? And I want you to disagree with me when I say something stupid, so I'm going to disagree with you when you say something stupid.
Clearly I'm kidding.
Ah, bullshit.
Here's the question. Papa Hud's been doing this all episode, and I'll
McMuffin the whole time?
No, I'll shine a little light on it. I know he's joking. I hope you're joking. Otherwise, I'll ban you from the chat. So is there going to be musical numbers in this series? Well, mine's some singing.
No singing. I don't like singing.
Songster.
Yeah, because he's a minstrel, so it makes sense.
It'll be like those little hello kind of stuff.
Yeah, but there'll be no pussy singing and all.
How about
shit.
this? A songster could be the narrator for the She-Ra show intro, but do like a musical style. Joking, well, kind of. I'd want to see that.
No, I don't want like a lot of singing and dancing and all that stuff. But I feel like you could have him.
He can sing For the Honor of Love at the end.
Or like, it's like he's inspired by the events of the Great Rebellion and comes up with a song for the honor of love or something like that. So I'm fine with that. But there will be no like singing and dance or whatever.
It's not like everybody's in a choreographed like dance number. It's him.
Yeah, and then you got Joe Amato doing
singing.
like a Russian dance, from
and you have like the horror giving him a hard time, and I'm about to break his stuff, and then they save him and whatever. So that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Here's one from Febmon, which this is worthy of asking, just because if you want to do a wink and nod to a certain Hall of Fame movie that Tyler has, do He-Man and Skeletor visit Earth at some time, as in present day Earth, or maybe a little further in the future from our time?
Don't feel it's necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not because I'm fine with it in the movie, but I feel like for this show, I don't, outside of like visiting Etheria. Or maybe the Dark Moon or something. I just don't feel the need to go to Earth. I really don't. Or even see shots of Earth. Or outside of Molina, that's the only connection to Earth I feel like we need to see. Maybe her ship, the American flag, like that's like maybe laying in her ship or something like that. Anything that Adam would want to know about his mother. And she could just talk about, this was the symbol of the country I was from on my planet or something like that. But we don't need to see, Adam landing in, the streets of L.A. and he's talk, and goes hangs out in the clubs and Skeletor becomes an evil conglomerate. Oh my God,
that could be a different take.
I see people talking about like the costume designs and everything, and I think we should just stay as true to the original. With maybe minor updates here and there, but nothing like. I don't see the need to change anything.
Yeah, much like how the Horsemen did with like the 2-up statues for the MYP, or how they did with the Classics line. It took what we knew.
The Classics did it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, not to say you couldn't tweak this, that.
Yeah, you're hearing that too, right? There's like an
I've been hearing an echo. Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I keep hearing myself talk.
Let me try.
As much as I like to hear it, this is kind of irritating.
Newt, it might be on your end. I muted your mic and it went away.
Oh, really? Maybe it's the new microphone. Sorry.
I'll tell John he needs to get his money back on that shitty setup he got.
Let me see if it's
Here's one from Lion Mom that we didn't really touch on. Sorry, Newt, I'm gonna do that to you for a sec. Here's one from Lion Mom. Here's a question: is Orko going to be there? How are you going to portray him? If so, yeah, we had mentioned Orko like early on.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Just think of like him like as like having like your own version of Joe Amato. He's gonna be lovable. He's always gonna be dependable. He'll be there. No, Orko will be everything that Filmation did with him. Very lovable. There will be no more of this like. He walks away like, oh my God, I'll quit doing magic because Man Arms is up my ass. Like, no, none of that shit.
He was
I want him to be.
He was an amazing on his own planet, and his magic doesn't work right on Eternia. So that's why it's bumbling, not because he's not good, but because it doesn't work right for him.
I would like to establish too, like right on, like how good he is, but it's I also like something we never saw enough of, is that because Orko's part of the inner circle of like who Adam really is. I would like to see more of Adam and Orko having conversations, like good friend conversations, like like close, like when Adam's like, God, like I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it, and like Orko would come to him, and they talk privately about like it's important that you keep pushing on with this, like we support you. Like I know you have to make yourself look like you're what's so funny, Nathan?
So Orko will be a trash raccoon in the series then?
Yeah, he'll be like Rocker Raccoon, and he'll talk, and he'll like, oh man.
He's asking because you compared him to being Joe.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I got it immediately. Unfortunately,
okay.
But that was pretty cool. I liked it.
No, that was a good little nod there. I guess just because Joe wears the scarf and keeps his face covered, he's Orko. But I thought we could upgrade Joe to being my battle cat. I ride Joe into battle all the time.
That's uncomfortable.
Like Joe running around on all fours.
Oh, I fucking hate that thing.
Yeah.
If there's any way to play that would be the time.
I know Deuce is going to turn it into some sort of erotic, weird thing.
So no secret agent Orko like the classics bios.
Oh my God! No, there were not everything that Scott Knightley did to butcher and rape the mythology that so many bought hook, line, and sinker. None of that shit.
How about this then, Wiley Waltz? How about connections to Brave Star and Black Star?
I definitely would like to do a connection to Brave Star because Karim is mentioned in the series, like especially in She-Ra. So I would like to have like a connection.
And UK comics with Rio Blast too. There was like references of stuff. So yeah.
Yes, I like Joe said, I would like to have kind of a connection with Rio Blast and Brave Star of kind of uniting those worlds. I mean, there's
whose statue
so many...
was that of? Wasn't there a Black Star
Black
statue?
Star,
See, so
I think it was the Temple of the Sun, the Black Star statue. Yeah.
Yes, they might even be able to slip something like that eventually, but that'd be different.
Yeah, I'd be down for that, including like, various swords that have been forged. The Power Sword, the Star Sword. Are there links to Eternia with the origins of those swords? They're not Grayskull, but were they created during pre-Eternia? Were they, and then they were banished to other galaxies, or on the planet Sagar, or something like that.
Then you have a bunch of Fetch Quest episodes where everyone's trying to go get everything.
Yeah, we're on a mission here, guy. We got to go find it. And then Mattel's like, no, you can't do that. You're having too much fun. And we own that property. Well, we don't plan to do anything with it right now, so you can't do anything with it right now. You can't even acknowledge it. But you got to include this real shitty variant that my son Jacob came up with. And if you don't do it, you're fucking off the project.
Here you go, Tyler. This comes from Chris Carter. Would there be an attorney and veterinarian? There better be a good one because, these puppies are sick. Nod to Tyler's favorite T-shirt.
I was going to say, what's my favorite T-shirt?
Yeah,
that stupid one of He-Man, the Filmation, all those stupid
Filmation. Come on, man. Yeah. You're the one that references it all the time. Now you just
I'm making fun of it. I didn't think someone to like, I get what you're saying now.
That's a throwback right there, Chris Carter. Clearly you've been listening
it is.
For quite
Sir,
a long
you offend me with that. So he's trying to be funny. See, that's all.
No, yeah, that's why I was laughing.
Oh, okay.
You get it? That's why it's
you said what? No, this kind of. What? I guess I don't mind the shit of How to fucking pronounce it?
Is Joe talking or is Nathan playing SoundCloud?
I'm not
now, but it looks.
His face.
I'm completely lost right now. Who's talking?
Oh man, that's awesome.
No, you said I must be senile.
I did say that.
Joe, you just move your hands and I just play these clips.
That's why I was doing it when you were doing that. I was like, some people won't know. Is he saying that now or is this the recordings? Because I don't even remember what I say half the time.
That'd be good. There were a couple. I have a couple more, but they cut off because I need to put some silence before and after them so you can hear the whole clip. Because
bastard.
Right, I noticed some players do that. They'll cut it off short.
Yeah. Oh man.
Pizza Man.
Fuck, I don't remember doing that. I really don't remember doing that. That's driving me nuts.
Doing
what the
what?
fuck did I do? That
Do
knocking sound that...
You didn't.
Oh, you made it up. Oh, okay,
No,
good.
I didn't make any of this up. You know who made this up.
Well, I know, but fuck. Well, was there any more questions?
What?
Chat,
I don't even know what I'm talking about no more. My mind's going to shit.
Man, Deuce and SoundCloud sound better than Joe does.
I know.
It actually does.
I don't think Joe's ever sounded more clear.
I know,
in his
right?
life, you know?
Crystal.
That's
clear.
weird.
Deuce just needs to remaster all of Joe's conversations, and then we play them back, and you know.
He can just loop this with...
Yeah.
Lion Mom, applause for the Orko direction. Even more applause for ditching all the garbage that Salesman on Spectre Creative came up with. There we go.
Is that Scott Knowledge's channel?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I guess.
bullshit. Don't listen to anything he says. Whatever he
Can't
says.
wait to see that get around. Someone would be like, hey man, check this shit out.
Yeah. Just like to quote my cousin Benny, everything the guy says is bullshit. Thank you. So yeah,
will Joe
don't
be in
believe
the
any of
show as gag reference or let down fanboy?
I would love to put Joe in the show. It's just like he's that homeless guy on the street that Adam's constantly passing and handing coins to or something like that. You know, when Adam wants to hang out with the riffraff down in the tavern, and he's like, "Joe, come on, I'll buy you a drink, Joe." And Joe,
that one picture of Joe where he was like, somebody thought you were home. Yeah.
So then it's like, hey Joe, I'll buy you a drink, and then like it cuts to like the bar, and I'm just sitting there like fucking like out of my mind, like about to fall asleep, passed out. Yeah, and a little nod to me in there. Modulok, would that be a character that you would kind of save a little bit for like a further?
Joe and I talked about this a while back. I would establish Modulok as a member of the Evil Warriors, who's helping expand the technology of Snake Mountain.
Okay.
And where he's just like, I'm fed up with your bullshit, Skeletor, and I'm not doing this. You know, I'm taking my latest plans. I'm getting the hell out of here. And he goes to the Horde and introduces technology to the Hordak, which is how Hordak learns to manipulate his body into various weapons, creates the Horde troopers, creates this what looks to be a giant factory of a fright zone. You know, I want Modulok to be the reason why technology becomes such a big part of Hordak, because he is a scientist.
And it would be even like a greater way too to continue to have that bridge between Master Universe and like the spin-off She-Ra that you yeah. Hell yeah. Joe, is there any ideas that the shit that you would definitely want more of? I know you kind of said that at the beginning when you were kind of
no, pretty much everything that was said sounds good. I missed, of course, a good portion, but I'll have to go back and listen. But I'll have to go back and listen to everything later. Sorry.
I hope it was. Oh, Joe, are you okay, bud?
Yeah, everything's okay. Everything's okay. Just no, nothing here. Nothing here. Just
we can talk about it after. When we're done with the show.
But I hope this topic was. I hope you guys enjoyed it, like you three.
Good.
And
it's always good.
I like the surprise of it too. I was like, what are you doing today?
With Cringer too, by the way, because we didn't bring up Cringer. How like mostly keeping that the same from what we know, or do you want any like subtle changes to that? And I guess the biggest thing too that we didn't talk about, because I think obviously the first transformation has to be something special. Do you want?
I have ideas of what I would want that to be like, much like I've always wanted to see in a movie, is that when that first transformation sequence happens, it's like it explodes around Adam, like he's looking up inside, like the twister of power that explodes around him, like the first time, like he's like, oh my god, what have I done? Like you could almost see him like being scared of like what is going on here.
It's more of a. It feels more like a mistake than anything else.
It's just to emphasize the first transformation, because after that it would look much like how Filmation was. Like it becomes boom, you know, your traditional, you know, transformation. But this is the first time the power of Grayskull is you know, being unleashed to its new owner.
Yeah,
and it needs to be something that he'll never forget. And like, oh my god, like this is something that I could not comprehend. Like.
And transformations after that, obviously, we would kind of scale back and make that a little more
like, finite, where it's like more like, you know, to the point. This needs to be something that no one ever forgets. not the audience, not the character. I want people like getting goosebumps. I even want like a tear coming down because they're excited about. Oh my God! Like this is what I wanted to see. This is what we were lacking. This is what those fuckers did not do right the last time they tried. You know, I want people watching that clip over and over again on YouTube.
Yeah, just I was like,
again. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I can go again. You know, it's being passed all over the place. People are excited about it. You know, they're not turning into some. Yeah, there we go. You know,
that'll flash in there every so often. People are like, what is that?
I want people flashing themselves, you know, just like how Joe was right there.
Yeah.
But hell, we could even put in, you know, that would probably be too much.
What?
I was going to think about, you know, like that idea I told you and Newt a while back about putting
Is that something you want to reveal? I feel like that's something we should keep between us for now. I don't want to put that out there in case, like, you know,
those fuckers at Sony are like, oh, this is a good idea. Get them dickheads over at Netflix. You know, get this idea and that shitty movie we're never going to make. Put it in the script, you know, and we'll say it's ours.
You know? Oh yeah, that one that made me cry.
Yeah.
Yep. That was good.
That will be a tale for another time, I think.
Yeah.
No, this was fun. I think we should.
Look at Joe's hair.
Yeah.
It's flowing.
We're just like playing with our hair.
Actually, well, whose is longer?
Yours.
Not by much.
I don't know. I think you guys are about even.
Yeah, not by much.
I think so.
Chad, who do you think? Go ahead, Joe. Pull that down a little more again.
Well, half of mine's trapped in my goddamn collar. But
get it all out, Joe.
Careful, don't flash your face again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, I'm in the shadows now, for fuck's sake. I think Nathan's is longer. Plus the dark.
It's about the same.
It's close.
Yeah, Nathan's.
Joe's got heavier bounce with his curls because he pulls it and it bounces back up. Whereas
mine does. I have really curly hair when it gets.
Yeah, mine's just wavy. Mine's not curly like Joe's. Mine's wavy.
Yeah, Nathan's I think is longer, but yeah, mine goes right back up in curls. But well, any more questions, or is that it?
Well, here's the thing again. You guys take a break for Christmas? No, I think in some form or fashion, there's going to be some amount of us here next Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah, and we haven't figured out what we're going to do. I think Invasion USA was kind of leading the charge, but we'll talk some more about it through the week.
We'll figure out something to do.
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
Yeah.
But no, we'll probably be here. I don't think.
We're not going to hit you, I don't think, with the generic He-Man She-Ra Christmas.
We're not gonna do that for the 10 million fucking time.
No, that's been done to death.
No, that's it. We ain't doing that. We're not doing the UK comics talking about the Christmas shit. None of that.
Chat. It's not like a chore to come on here. It's something we're doing.
Plus, it gives us time to hang out
with you guys. You know.
Yeah. I have to do that.
God, it was. I enjoyed the hell out of like sharing these things with you guys tonight. It was really fun to get your all's ideas and input and I told Nathan that this is something I was so stimulated mentally about this idea. Like, you know, all week I'd be at work or at the gym, like, oh my God, that's a great idea. Oh, that one too. Like, you know, I just couldn't wait to share these ideas with you guys. I hope all the listeners, you know, even not tonight, but like down the road, enjoy these thoughts for fun. Just enjoyed it. I wanted you to get hard nipples about it. I did not just want
everybody get hard nips, hard cocks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's a question from JB. Maybe you guys can establish a Discord chat. I haven't messed with that, but I feel I feel like that's something that John could probably kind of enlighten me a little more with the Discord chat and shit. And
what is it?
Honestly, I kind of don't really know because I've sort of just been like out of the loop. They use it a lot for like video game stuff, and I know a lot of people also use them as more of a way to have interactivity with your fan base.
Oh hell, we pretty much do it here if we want. Same thing with the chat.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll I need to look more into that. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. So
all right. Well, if you guys are new to if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring that bell so you always be notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day.
Override complete. We're locking on the key source of origin.
That's Masters of the Universe movie.
Yeah, that seems pretty academic.
Yeah, I just I'll just quote that.
I had a feeling you were going to quote that today.
Well, I quoted the movie before, and everyone's like, I don't remember what that's from. Where's that from?
I've gotten all of the Masters quotes.
No, you haven't.
No, you missed one, I thought, or two.
Nope.
Yes, you did.
No, not from the Masters. I missed one from Conan, but not from Masters of the Universe.
Oh, you're right out of the gate. You missed Conan.
Mm-hmm.
And you missed about 7 alien quotes too, I think, or
yes,
something.
Yes, you missed those too.
Couple alien quotes.
Joe never wraps it up.
Joe missed the Masters quote.
Yeah, Joe's raw dog.
Yeah.
whole raw dog Amato over here.
Love you, Jen.
Joey.
That was bad timing. Wait, that didn't sound right. We're talking about. I didn't mean that. I mean, I love you, Jen. Jesus Christ, that sounded wrong.
What?
Who?
Well,
what?
you were talking about all the perverted shit and raw dog. I said, "Love you, Jen." It just was bad timing. I think how I said that. I thought we were like exiting. Oh shit!
How to fucking pronounce it?
Oh, that sounds like the.
I must be senile. No, you said
See,
that's gonna become a great staple.
I don't even know what I'm talking about no more. My mind's gone to shit.
God, those are really good.
Deuce and
if we could get that from his fuck up video when Joe was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh God, we were dying. That was so funny.
Everybody's listening.
Oh!
We were like crying because it was so funny.
That's bad.
I dare say that was Joe's finest moment.
That was interesting.
He's had a few.
I know, but playing that in that fashion that Deuce recommended, like that was like. When Joe was choking on that spider in front of Dolph Lundgren, that was pretty hilarious.
That was good. And then the burp.
Yeah,
and then the burp.
I love the picture he did with Warwick Davis too, where Joe's
Warwick's like quite.
And he was like,
Did I? These are on the channel, right? They gotta be.
What's that?
I don't know if you ever did upload Joe's discussion with Warwick and Dolph Lundgren.
Shit, I guess I didn't, huh?
That doesn't sound. I don't think I've seen that. Is that something you guys did?
Is this,
no. You saw those.
Before we go off the air, I have to at least track this down really quick.
God, that really shows how bad my mind is. I don't remember that.
Well, you remember eating a spider in front of Dolph, right?
Yeah, I remember that with Dolph. But why don't I remember Warwick?
I think
it was just a picture. Yeah, it was just a picture.
It was like when he was first getting on, like, and he's like obviously confused by the computer things, and he's like this,
making this face like he's quite put off by it. And Joe's just like,
it's so good.
I must find this before we go. I have to. I'm trying to remember, gosh, because that would have been what, like 2 years ago.
It was during the pandemic when those discussions went up. So, yeah.
Deuce said, if you're here, you got to find it
and upscale it. Like he upscales everything else.
Just link me to it. Damn it!
I'm curious. Was Deuce and all?
I mean, was that on the channel or was that in the Fans of Power Facebook group?
It
was
in the Facebook.
We're gonna find it. We're not leaving till.
Well, if you go to the Fans of Power Facebook group, just search your name and it should show posts or something. If you just look for Nathan Kennedy there, it should show everything you've ever posted. So.
Well, I don't think I post actually.
Or Deucin. Oh, yeah. Fuck. I'm trying to think if you do. God, but he's maybe posted a lot of shit. Or if you click media, then videos. Media, then videos.
Found it. Yes.
Yay.
I found it. All right.
Here we go. Pop this for people who've never seen it.
All right. Let me pause that. Oh, it's so good. So fucking good. All right. Chrome tab. All right. Here we go.
Try to stick out my tongue without it falling out. Here I go. On my tongue.
Look how impressive.
Don't.
What?
Try to stick out my tongue without it falling out. Here I go.
That fart at the end.
Stupid.
Dolph is entertainment.
God, that fucking clip.
So
Oh,
good.
shit.
Find the Warwick one. Where is it?
Oh yeah, the Warwick one.
Picture.
What was that? That was just a picture and wasn't.
Yeah.
I think it was
yeah.
just a picture.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Joe was talking to him.
Doosan did that one too, right?
Yeah, he did them both. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
There is the video too where Doosan spliced together Tyler and I, like we're watching the Netflix She-Ra.
Oh,
trailer,
yeah, but
and we're just like,
that
that
was
looks so cool.
genius. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was genius.
Because we were watching Thundercats. I think it's what we were originally watching, and we're like, huh?
Yeah,
He timed
he
that
actually
so
just sent me
perfect.
that video. Yeah.
And he timed it so perfectly. Then that fucking forklift one, that was another
Yeah,
good
that,
one.
Yeah, that was good.
He's done a lot of crazy shit. He's a genius.
I can't imagine what his setup must be like at home, where he's just like hacking into various things and putting this together and splicing that, and next thing you know, it's a full parody of what we just did 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, he's insane.
No, I'm getting close to
Yeah,
it.
I can't find it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
okay. You
Yeah,
can do
we'll
it for me next
we'll
week.
save it. Yeah, save it for another.
But I'm sure he could put that a new one together. Like, just go look at that Warwick video and just see that one shot of Warwick, like looking quite offended by Joe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and the Fedmon brings up a good point. I do need to just take those and upload them to our channel.
Yeah.
Confuse
Yeah.
Little side
confuse
things.
the
Yeah.
shit out of everybody. What is?
Oh,
wait,
shit.
what is? Oh, all right. Hang on. He found it.
I found it.
Yeah. So I'll just overlay this, and then we'll wrap it up.
I just wanted the world to see that one more time.
Yeah. This one.
What a dick. He's showing my old King Hiss sculpture from
I
when
mean, it
was
looks like a
school.
giant wiener he made out of clay.
It's right here though. Hold on. It's literally
Just here, look at my dick.
Joe exposes all.
hold on a second. This is some quality shit. Look at this. I made this when I was in school. I made King Hiss right here. So he's got the snakes and he's
I
got
can
the
see it so
Mechadrone.
much better on this quality. In the other picture, it looks like a cactus.
I couldn't tell what the hell it was.
Oh yeah, I guess now you can see. So I
Yeah, it looked
Yeah, I
like
guess-
a cactus. I was like, what is
we'll see from
Yeah, I
the
thought
side.
it was too. I thought
Yeah,
it was a
now I
cactus.
see it.
And I love the Mechadrone, so I made the Mechadrone, and I put my initials on the bottom. Yeah, on the bottom, room 201. Oh my god!
Aw, that's a
That's
I always
like
put my
where Joe
initials.
committed his first murder. It was in room 201.
I was so
Look at
proud
this.
of
He's
this.
like the old lady in The Shining.
I've kept this from my childhood. I love this piece. This is fantastic. That's some quality shit right there.
Warwick's
Oh my God.
face.
That's amazing. Oh god, his face looking at the. Oh god.
We could use
Oh,
that for so many things. You have
I know.
No
We
idea.
just have Warwick Davis on one side, and just what did Joe do this week?
Like Warwick reacts to the new Revelations trailer.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
Look, see you guys next week.
All right,
Oh shit.
we're out.
Yeah, no, we're not out yet. I gotta leave it on all this stuff.
You said what? What? I don't even know what I'm talking about no more. My mind's gone to shit.
Oh my god.
Leave it on